Hey, everybody. Right on time as usual. And I'm going to do something a little different today. We're going to rock it a little bit slower pace. Um Spoke to a few people, got a few bits of advice. First one that I think I'm going to take is to wait a few minutes. Let some people join. It's Wild Card Wednesday, though, so really it's anything goes. Whatever we want to talk about, whatever comes up, whatever becomes a thing, it is what it is, you know. No one's here yet, I believe. I can't see who's in the room. I can only see who chats. It's a little bit different today because I'm doing it through a program called Streamlabs. And if you're not familiar with Streamlabs, it's a program that is used to mostly stream video games. And today I am streaming us talking. So, should be interesting. If people start to come in, still says 0 viewers here, so I don't know if this thing knows more accurately than anything else. I can see the number of viewers now, though. Refresh chat. All right, well, I'm sitting here. It's obviously a little bit different. People are going to have to come to the page. The good news is, look what I got here. We can watch some fucking videos. So now I can do what I actually wanted to do on Tuesday, when I did on Monday, when I did the propaganda video, which is be able to watch videos along with you guys. If you guys want me to get back into that a little, I would absolutely love it. Let me take this minute here while no one is in the room and no one is commenting and no one is watching to share this video. All right. I see we're going live. I want to get the live feed. All right, here we go. Share. Right post. Ready for this? You all know about my voice to text. You're going to see it and you're going to hear it. Hey everybody, comma, come join us for the live chat today, period. I'm still live at 5, comma, but I have this group now, period. Big changes and big surprises, period. Come join us, period. Some of you guys fucking hate that. Now I'm editing the fucking hashtags and whatnot. Okay. Everybody come join us for the live chat today. Alright, so hopefully that just worked. Let's see if I go on my page here, if the video shows up. And it does. Okay, perfect. Now we got a viewer. So everybody, while you're here, hello, welcome to the new page. Welcome to the new adventure we got going on here. Very excited. It's Wild Card Wednesday. We can talk about whatever the hell we want. Still going to give it about maybe 5 or 10 minutes and let some people join us. If anybody wants to drop in a comment, we're going to be, very user interaction friendly today because, quite frankly, I don't have an agenda that I want to talk about. So I'm kind of leaving it up to whatever's going on. The good news is, though, everybody, and I'm showing it again. I'm so excited about this. You guys have no idea. Ta-da! Look at this, a Google search. And I'm going to use Google to search for Duck, Go. And I'm going to go away from Google. I'm intentionally not using their ad because I don't want... Oh, no, this is DuckDuckGo. No, I don't want to use their ad. Add DuckDuckGo to Chrome. Why? I would love to. Add to Chrome. Add extension. There we go. Now I have a DuckDuckGo extension. But now we have a search engine here. We have a YouTube pulled up so we can search for videos. We can do whatever we need be here. And it's all thanks to this cool little page that I started and thanks to a program called Streamlabs OBS, which is a program made to stream video games and I have hijacked their program. Not really the correct word, but I have taken their program and I have misguided its intention to instead stream me and allow me to speak directly with you guys today and be able to show the internet, be able to review a news article, be able to really review anything, watch a video, comment on it together, look at a news article. I have a couple different things I want to show. One in specific. I say a couple. I'm kind of exaggerating on that because I have one and then wherever it goes into. But everybody, I haven't seen a comment yet. This is a new thing. If somebody wants to drop a comment, hello, I would love it just to see if this works. A couple things I want to bring up too. I was brought to my attention yesterday that there are people watching the live video, smashing the like button, the heart button, the angry faces. That is absolutely dope, and I 100% encourage you guys to continue to do it, but I can't see it. So if you're trying to communicate with me by hitting those buttons, I don't see it. I don't see it unless I watch the video afterwards. And if I were to be watching the video on a delay, looking for hearts, it would never make any sense because I wouldn't be able to talk because I'd have to listen to what I was talking about because it's on a delay and yada, yada, yada. You know the rest. So, yeah, very glad to be here. I'm going to hit refresh chat in case someone's actually commented something. I don't believe anyone has. Latest comments, I'd love to see them. But it looks like we don't have any yet. We have a couple people coming in. What's going on, everybody? Wildcard Wednesday, starting off slow, taking some advice, letting people get into the room. Let's talk about my shirt for a second. EC fucking W, the anti-establishment wrestling promotion from the late 1990s into the very early 2000s because they went out of business in 2001 due to whatever kind of situation that you want to say. Oh, look at this. Okay. People are commenting, but you can't see it. Okay, I'm very glad somebody told me that because that creates a gigantic problem. So what I'm going to do now is in a separate page here, all right, that I'm going to be able to look at. I'm very happy to hear this. I am going to open up the video just to be able to read the comments, and I am not going to be able to look at myself live. So I am going to have to watch the video with you guys with the volume turned down so I can get all of the functionality out of this that I want, which is being able to view the internet with you. So hold on one second here. Let me open this up. Here we go. What's up, son? Hold on. That's turning the volume down. Excuse my delay here. All right. Bobby G, what's up, son? Nice. You hear Nick Cannon racist convo on podcast. I did listen to it today. But, you know, it wasn't racist. Rami, it wasn't racist. You should know that. It was anti-Semitic. It wasn't racist because he was talking about white people. You're not allowed to be racist against white people. But because he brought their religion into it, it was a bit different of a situation. So, didn't really work out that way. You know, he was busted for anti-Semitism, not racism. While we have this up here now, I have a couple of different things that I'm going to be able to go ahead and do. All right, people are... Let me see if I refresh this chat again, if I can get the comments to show up here. I really would like that. It would really make this a much better situation, but it's not going to do that. Account. Uh-oh. Maybe I can fix it. No, I can't. I cannot fix it. I don't know how to do it on there. So we're just going to leave this as the backdrop, and I'm only going to come here to turn on and turn... Oh, no. Wait a minute. Why is it doing that? All right, let's go back and take a look and see if I'm still moving. Otherwise, I'm going to go like this. There we go. Oh, yeah, it is not. It is a still picture when I go to show a video. That is not cool. All right, let's try and see just for 1 second now. Let's switch this over, and let's try to play a video as a test, everybody. If this works, this is a huge deal, and if it doesn't work, then I wasted much of my time this morning trying to get this shit to work. So let's take a look at AVGN and the Irate Gamer.
You're not a dish. Please. You're a man.
I'm sure you can hear it.
Most name brand bars and body washes you rub on your skin are classified by the FDA as synthetic detergent.
Well,
It's not even real soap. Stop marinating your man meat
Oh,
with
you
unholy
can't
ingredients
see
that are
it.
harmful to your well-being, body,
Son of
and
a
sperm.
bitch. Well, the good news is, everybody, it says, Rami says, I love how he says white people do not have melanin. Everyone does, exactly. Also says white people are less. Oh yeah, but that's completely okay, Rami. But because he said that Jewish white people are less, that's clearly why it was offensive. It's never offensive if you make fun or you discredit or you disrespect white people. You have to disrespect. Oh, I clearly still have that thing on. So let's try to fix this problem. We're going to only go back to this if it relates to watching news articles and the like, because I now know that I have to take a different approach to play a video, which I know I can do. We will, in fact, be able to watch videos. I figured that out on a separate issue. I just more so needed to figure out how to stream the web browser in, which was very important to me, because that's how we're going to be able to look at news articles. To be honest with you, what I really, really wanted to do on Monday was be able to do what I'm doing today and pull up news articles and actually highlight and read them along with you and really explain, here's where they're manipulating you. Here's where the truth is. This is the manipulative part. And we can still do that today. If someone wants to share an article, we absolutely can. What I really want to do, though, is I want to ask everyone to take a second and please share this video. Obviously, this is a different situation. We're doing it through, a page. BG from the bottom of the rabbit hole is a page that I created so I can go ahead and make these videos and use Streamlabs to be able to communicate better, to be able to kind of share what I'm trying to share with you guys and have a better ability to provide visual aids than just simply, me talking. I can actually provide a visual aid to what I'm talking about. So I'm very glad to know that, but I'm going to need you guys to share the video and get the word out. So if you want to take a second right now while you're in here, please share the video for me. I would really appreciate it. We can get the conversation going. I have no idea I see, there's 3 people in here, which is excellent. I don't know who it is, but I'm assuming it's Rami and Robert G. Russo. Bobby G and Rami Big D. I got to tell you something. If you want to know about Rami, this motherfucker has, without question, the biggest hands I have ever shaken. I've shaken the hands of pro wrestlers. I've shaken the hands of Lou Ferrigno. I arm wrestled Lou Ferrigno one day. 2 hands, me going like this, 2 hands, planting my feet on the ground, pulling with all of my weight, and I did not move him 1 inch. That is a 100% true story. And then he looked at me and he laughed and he goes, "Are you serious?" And he went like this and I almost fell over. Real talk. But yeah, Rami's got the biggest fucking hands I ever laid my mitts on. Literally, they're like catcher's mitts. I swear to God, the guy literally played catcher for minor league baseball with no catcher's mitt. That is a real life story. He said it got in the way. They didn't make one big enough for his gigantic, thick hands, like this thick. Like you need 2 hands to shake his hand. You feel like you're holding a package of soggies when you shake Rami's hand. It's crazy. But no, I'm just here on Wild Card Wednesday, man. I want to talk a little bit about everybody. I want to talk about Nick Cannon. We'll talk about what's in the news. Nick Cannon wanting to be anti-Semitic. I was joking earlier. Obviously, I don't think racism against white people, black people, being prejudiced against Jewish people. I'm not against. Again, I'm all about questioning ideas. If your outlook is you're going to criticize something about the Jewish faith, by all means, go ahead and do that. Same way I would say criticize Christianity, criticize Roman Catholicism, criticize Islam, criticize, Protestants, criticize the Church of England, criticize whatever it is that Baptists, criticize Mormons, not Mormons, I'm sorry. I screwed it up there. Criticize the Baptist religion, criticize the Mormon religion. Don't criticize the people. Criticize the set of ideas that the religion is constructed under. We are allowed to criticize ideas in America. There is no idea that is beyond criticizing. However, Big Strowman said he had big hands. Braun Strowman is a humongous man. If you don't know who he is, I'll show you Braun Strowman. See, I was going to say to Google him, and then I remembered I can do this. This man right here, okay? You guys are going to see me do some... Man, I screwed up. Now my default browser is DuckDuckGo, and I'm not happy about it. Because I like Google sometimes. So now we're going to use DuckDuckGo to go back to Google. Because why not? Gotta love using search engines to get to other search engines. This man, this massive individual, met Rami and shook his hand and said, "You have big hands." This gentleman he is in the picture with here is 7 feet tall and 400 pounds. This man stands eye to eye with him and told Rami that this man has humongous hands. I am not exaggerating. Look at this. Look at these. See this? Get these hands. That's his gimmick. Get these hands. Look at it. Get these hands. Look how big these hands are. And he's telling my boy he's got huge hands. You know there's an issue. Look at these hands. Look at that. Humongous hands. I wish I could ask Rami to share a picture of himself, of his hands, simply to the chat. But now I am back, everybody. I am here in the chat room, ready to listen. Let's talk business. First order of business, and I'm upset about it, is obviously I am no longer streaming on the page. I can no longer just stream as myself if I wish to use Streamlabs. I said this. I'm sorry for repeating myself, you guys. We have more people in the chat. As you guys just saw, I have the ability to display a web browser with a couple seconds of preparation. I have the ability to display a video, which will be excellent, so I'm very excited about it. I can no longer see the chat when I'm live, so I have to open up a separate browser and watch the video just like you guys. I also cannot see when you are smashing hearts or likes or happy faces to the video while it's live. The other viewers can. I cannot. I couldn't yesterday. I can't today, unfortunately. But yeah, let's get into this. What do you guys want to talk about, man? It's Wildcard Wednesday. You know, obviously I have a feeling that someone is going to mention pedophiles because it seems to me like talking about rich elite pedophiles is something that everyone likes to hear. I want to talk about something for a second. You got to learn from your mistakes in this world, and you got to realize when you've made a mistake, and you got to do what you can to correct it. So because of a mistake that was made yesterday, a very important, very key mistake, what I did was I made sure I got myself a fresh, ice cold can of soda. And my fake Yeti that I don't pour it in. Also have myself a nice, cold, frosty bottle of water. So, we're in for the long haul, baby. Joe Marcinko, my boy, ahaha, melon, Emma, laughing my ass off. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by melon. I can only, maybe Rami's big watermelon hands, which is probably what he's talking about because he looks like when he makes two fists, he has like two tan-colored watermelons on his hand, like gigantic grapefruit hands. Have you ever saw one of those action figures when you're a kid that just has the arm with like the big ball and they're like sticky? That's like Rami's fists. Like they're humongous. But, Nick Cannon. Oh, yeah, melatonin. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, talking about who has more melatonin. And you know, it's funny, from what I understand, that's something that's like a Nation of Islam thing, and I personally have never gotten into that. I know what regular Islam is. I'm not too familiar with the Nation of Islam, Joe Marcinko. But, dude, these hands are as big as my head. You are absolutely correct. Yeah, Rami's hands are humongous, and they're thick. They're thick. You feel like I'm a grown man, and I feel like a small child shaking this man's hands. He must be listening like, dude, I did not tune into your fucking stream to hear about my hands, but I told you it was Wildcard Wednesday. I told you anything goes. So I'm making true to it. A couple things too, criticisms, not criticisms. We're going to call them critiques that I got. You know, obviously this is a test run. I'm pretty much doing all of this to try to figure out what the best way to be able to communicate myself is. These videos really started out of necessity due to the Facebook debate threads that I'm sure everyone watching has seen. The debate threads are very hotly contested, and they seem to be watched by at least a decent number of people, coming from a person whose sitting in his house in Massachusetts, like over 60 miles away from all of his friends. I seem to be getting pretty big responses and communicating very heavily through these threads. But I just realized that it's not practical for me to continue to try to only communicate using text because, and it's like someone brought up to me yesterday, I feel like they're not reading them in my voice. They're not understanding I'm talking to text and I'm trying to like speak through these words and it doesn't come off. So it comes off much better if I speak by myself. Let everybody comment on it. But dude, those hands are as big as my head. Rami Abdallah, get these hands. Absolutely fucking right. He knows about it. Fuck, what's next on the list of what the fuck 2020? Who knows, man? Who fucking knows what's gonna go on in this world? It's fucking unbelievable. Bill, my boy Bill McCahey. Wild Bill, dude. Wild Bill in the house. Talk about Wild Card Wednesdays. The special guest of Wild Card Wednesdays, Wild Man Bill McCahey. And he hit us up. Luke chap 15 says, Jesus would rather help the one lost sheep than the herd of 99. For the same reasons that heaven would rejoice a sinner repenting, rather than 99 righteous people not feeling the need to repent. BLM. Luke chap says Jesus would rather help the one lost sheep than the herd of 99. For the same reasons, BLM. Well, unfortunately, BLM wants to destroy churches, Christianity, and the idea of a white Jesus as we know him. So I don't necessarily know and I'm not sure what that comment is supposed to represent. I believe it's trying to say that to focus attention on George Floyd instead of the other people or other races or whatever, that when people say all lives matter as opposed to Black Lives Matter. But if we want to get into that in a second, we absolutely can. There was a video that came out today featuring transcripts of the body cam footage. And to say that people may have jumped to conclusions is an understatement. But we're going to get into that in a second. I want to play that video for you guys. That's when we're going to actually go and we're going to take a second, boot up a video, let it play. I'll get that loaded for you in a bit. I just want to go over some comments here with some people. Joe Marcinko, you are absolutely right, man. Pray, bro, because 2020 can't get any crazier. Florida's Rami Abdallah. Florida, supposedly getting in trouble for lying about coronavirus spike. Thank God if that is the case. And I understand why they did it, because anything you could do to fucking make it that much harder for the world to go back to normal, when in all reality, all we need to do is find out how the fuck this disease is spreading, and the WHO is saying asymptomatic people are not spreading it. Therefore, if that's the case, we do not need social distancing, we do not need masks, and we need to have American scientists focus on that. Who is calling me? I will not be answering this phone call, unfortunately. I am in a meeting with you guys, and he will get a call back. And if he wants to jump on Facebook and see me live and come in the comments, he's more than welcome. Rami Abdallah. Joe Marcinko, dude, didn't know that. 100%. Yes, that is a very legitimate thing. Yes, Florida labs got caught using 98% instead of 9.8% cases, which is crazy. This is why, just like I say, you question things first. You do not believe what is told to you immediately. Do not take any information at face value from anyone, even the most trustworthy people, even from me. Research everything I'm telling you. I can sit here and show you how stuff is a lie, and we could do it together. If there's something you're not sure about, maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I'll take a second, and I'll go ahead, and I'll get this pulled up on my DuckDuckGo browser here, okay? Florida. You know what? We'll do this with you guys. This is going to be a fun experience. I won't be able to see the comments for a second while I'm looking at this, so please feel free to leave them. I'll get right back once this is done. Florida, Florida numbers. Let's just see if that brings us what we want. No, obviously not. That was a stupid idea. Florida numbers spiking. Here we go. Okay, we're going to go to news because this is going to bring us. Oh, 6 days ago, 2 days ago. Oh, look at this. Okay. So again, this is something where DuckDuckGo, not being Google, hasn't caught up on this yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google right now. Because again, I usually go to, or here we go. Nope. Google. Florida. Fake numbers. I could have used that on the other one and probably got what I wanted, to be honest with you. But let's go here. No. Still no. And I saw this myself. If someone wants to provide the link, we can take a look through it. I absolutely would love that because as you can see, it's not so easy to just go ahead and find this. So I would love for someone to provide me the link. We can all take a look at it together. I'll put it on the screen. All right. Let's go back and take a look at some comments, though, since that kind of got derailed real quick by me. Hey, man, it's my first time, man. I'm new at this. I'm trying to evolve this every single day. I'm going to evolve the channel. I also took another piece of advice yesterday for the fact that we were having a little bit of camera moving when I would move around on the bed. But as you can see, I found another way to hold my computer that is not supported by my bed, which is where I'm sitting, and makes life a little bit easier for everyone watching. So if you guys, I see everyone is talking. I'm just glancing about the number manipulation. Please post a link in the comments. I'm asking you so we can all take a look at it together. It will be very educational. Very educational, I promise. Somebody do the work. Grab the link for me. I'd really appreciate it. Dude, didn't know that. Florida Labs. Joe Marcinko. What? You can't. Why can't you pick up LMAO? Just kidding. It wasn't me calling. Thanks, Joe. I'm glad to know because Again, it stinks because I do this. I feel bad not answering phone calls. I answer just about every single phone call I get, but I'm not going to talk on the phone on a live stream. It's the last thing you guys want to see. Ivan, the date manipulation on this is an infectious disease. That is true. Actually, Yvonne, to be honest with you. Yes, you are absolutely correct, Yvonne, 100%, that this is data manipulation. My boy, Yvonne, is to call someone a tremendously intelligent and well-researched individual may even be an understatement when we're speaking about Yvonne. So, he's spot on that beyond a shadow of a doubt. Dude, I only research into things I'm into and what's going on to a certain level until I'm just like, lost interest. But let's post bullshit back to back. Yeah, I agree. And that's why what you got to do is, here's the thing. This is what I tell people, okay? And I didn't even say it, and this is came to me overnight. Question the narrative, okay? If you see that there is 8 stories that say the exact same thing on every single platform, the first thing you need to do is question the entire narrative. What is the story these are trying to paint? And then let's see if there are any holes in it that I can see. And let's see if this might be a manipulation tactic. Let's see if this might not be actually correct, and let's search for counter information. And if the counter information can disprove to a reasonable degree and can create, I don't want to say a reasonable doubt, but to basically poke a hole big enough in the story to crumble on itself, the odds are you're dealing with a fake narrative, which most oftentimes when every single news media is pushing the same story at you, that's what the narrative is, and the odds are it's bullshit because narratives are created. They're not natural. The natural narrative right now is what I'm talking about, which is all this crazy shit and how fucking backwards our world has gotten. So, Yvonne, labs also getting caught counting the 2 swabs as 2 cases, thus effectively multiplying stats by 2. Jesus Christ, you can't get any more fucking corrupt, man. Unbelievable. What about the theory about government control by canceling out cash? Yeah, that's a new one I'm hearing. You're hearing a lot about this cashless society because, again, and I made a post on my page, if you want to go on my personal page here and take a look, there was someone who had posted a picture of a bunch of books, school books, from the library in a dumpster, and basically they told us they were throwing out all the books because they can't be disinfected. And my thought process was, that's not true because I was told the virus dies after so long. So, I mean, if you just leave them docile, they can be disinfected. What do you mean? I don't believe that to be true. And then, of course, with the cashless society, man, they're just trying to, again, mark of the beast, man. This is shit that goes back to biblical days. What they're doing right now is absolutely alarming. That is what has caused me to make these videos and talk to you people. Because, and I say you people, out of tribute for Up, Up, Down, Down and Xavier Woods. But that is what has made me step up and be like, someone needs to talk about this shit because it's not happening. Someone needs to step up and say these things and normalize this type of conversation because people aren't talking about it. And when you do, they're going to say, oh, you're crazy. That's not real. This isn't happening. This is bullshit. But that's not why. But that. No, it is happening. If they're saying they want to get rid of cash and go digital only, we are fucked as a society. That is not good. Fight that adamantly. Do not get into that. If they want to put a chip in you for a banking purpose and tell you all your funds are going to be attached to this chip, I was told a long time ago that is exactly what the mark of the beast will look like. By someone who's not even a Christian as of today. But the bottom line is the information didn't change. Let me see here. Joe Marcinko. What about the government canceling out cash? I saw too much of that at Alliance. I didn't read that soon enough. But yeah, very true though. I'm trying to think of what I was talking about, but most likely we're talking about manipulating numbers, which I believe is what he's referencing, which did happen at Alliance on occasion. Here we go, my boy, Justin. Thank you very much. JM Bama providing me with a news link. Okay, so we have a couple links in here. So let's go ahead and review these. So give me a second to make the switch. Okay, there's me making a stupid face. Okay, but let's go back and... Fuck, man. Okay, we're closing that. We're starting again. Florida hospital admits COVID positivity rate is 10 times lower than first reported. Okay, now, Florida hospital handling COVID-19 tests confirmed to the media this week that its near 100% positivity rate was overstated by a factor of 10, raising already heightened concerns in the state about possibly overreporting the number of confirmed infections. So here we go. So they have admitted to making a mistake. Okay, Florida Division of Emergency Management posts a daily coronavirus update on its website, which features a list of the positivity rates of every COVID testing facility in the state. Hundreds of labs and hospitals throughout Florida are regularly testing state residents for the coronavirus. In recent days, numerous fallacies. So this is why it is not, this is keywords, okay? Numerous fallacies. This is not one mistake, okay? Numerous fallacies. When you have one issue, when you have one problem, it's an accident. When you have multiple, it's a conspiracy. That's how it works. Numerous fallacies have begun reporting 100% positivity rates. Oh, facilities. Now I look like an asshole. Numerous facilities. But regardless, it's still numerous facilities, not numerous. I did say numerous facilities. All right, now I'm confusing myself. Have begun reporting 100% positivity rates. Figures significantly higher than the statewide average, around 15. Many of those labs claim to have tested only one patient. Come on now. Though others with 100% rates reported testing dozens and sometimes hundreds. Here's the lie. That this is where the problem comes in. It's right here in front of you. You can see it if you read their article. Orlando News Station 35 said on Monday, undertook an investigation of those astronomical figures. After which, here's a little bit of, I mean, they're quoting that, but they're trying to show it's a bit ridiculous. After which, several medical facilities have confirmed that their actual positivity rates were much lower than those reported to state government. The news station reported the area hospital, Orlando Health, confirmed errors in the report, with hospital officials stating their positivity rate is only 9.4%, as opposed to the 94, which was reported. Another Orlando area lab, Veterans Medical Center, listed a positivity rate of 76%, but company officials said that the rate for that center is actually 6%. Now, this doesn't look like a simple, this is where I'm going to call bullshit, because this is not a simple example of just simply, here's what I'm going to do. I got an idea here. For when we go to this, I'm going to try something different, okay? I am going to, hold on, hear me out. I'm still working on this, man. This is it's an experiment, okay? I'm going to make it so you can still see me, and now we can look at this together, and we can view the internet together. So this is where the problem comes in, because the initial report makes it look like it's simply a decimal point error. So the average person who reads this, who doesn't read the article that's presented, I didn't go ahead and I just took the first article that was given to me. I didn't search for a news source. I didn't have to. I didn't worry about, is it Fox News? Is it CNN? I can do this with any article you give to me and show you within the article that the message that they're trying to send is a lie. And I can do it every single time. If you don't believe me, prove me wrong, please send me articles in the comments, and I will absolutely look through them and do that every time. So, but another Orlando area lab, Veterans Medical Center, listed the positivity rate of 76. So this right here is where the lie is, because they're trying to make you think it's a decimal point issue, but it's not. The inflated numbers come from Florida, has just been recording record numbers of COVID-19 through analysis just here. I don't even want to read anymore because there's no more to read. Last paragraph. Infections may have been overestimated by as much as 30%. So as you can see, absolute horseshit. And I'm going to go ahead and stretch this video back to full screen. And then now I am going to jump back into the comments so I can see them again. But yeah, so now you guys saw that. They were not reporting negative cases. I can see that as well. Here we go. So we have another article, and I'd love to, you know what? If you guys want to see me go through every article, say yes. And when I get to the comments, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go through every article to show you that it doesn't matter which source you choose. You can get the correct information even from bullshit news sources, so long as you understand how to think and how to be a critical thinker of information that you're receiving. And you're able to actually, I'm going to teach you how to fish through the bullshit if you want to learn. If you want to learn, I promise you I will teach you. So, yeah, I posted that, saw it too, after passing a couple links from Yvonne and Rami. Thank you very much. Jay Richter, hey, one time, talk about Bill Gates and his project called ID 2020 to eliminate cash and have a chip that has your banking info and medical insurance. I literally just did talk about that, although I didn't reference it to Bill Gates and ID 2020 because, quite frankly, I personally have not done any research into Bill Gates and a thing called ID 2020. I have done research into Bill Gates. I have watched his TED Talk where he claims, and I quote, in reference to lowering the population, okay, which is also called depopulation, which in English means fucking killing people, aka having less humans on the planet Earth. He said, and I quote to the best of my ability, by using excellent healthcare, vaccines, and reproductive services, we can get that number down dramatically. Why would healthcare lower the population? That doesn't make sense. Okay? In no way does that make sense. You can't manipulate that to make sense. Vaccines, people have their qualms about vaccines. Yvonne might come in here and say vaccines are legitimate because he's a very smart guy. As a matter of fact, Yvonne is a scientist who is very knowledgeable. He may want to contribute to that. But as far as I can see, vaccines should not be lowering the population. And reproductive services, obviously meaning abortions, that one makes complete sense. But let's go back to vaccines. I've heard people tell me that vaccinating a population means that people will have less children because there's a higher percentage that the first one that they have will survive. Riddle me this. Have you ever met a person in real life in your lifetime, and I'm not talking about your grandparents, I'm talking about someone who was born in the last 40 years, okay, who has had extra children because they said, well, I gotta have 3 of them in case one of the first 2 dies? That doesn't happen. This is not real life, okay? So that's a very malicious thing. All right, so moving on from Jay Richter. Yeah, man, saw that. See, he saw what was up. Sign at Taco Bell says, due to federal coin shortages, must have correct change or card. That's fucked up. This is fucking awesome. I appreciate that, Joe. Thank you very much. Walmart is starting to do the same thing. Robert Giarusso, Walmart starting to only cards, no cash. Absolutely fucked up. I'm very upset to hear that. Because this is real life. This is happening to you in your life right now. This is real. And I want to take a minute to tell you how real it is by asking you to share this video. Share this video and share the page, BG from the bottom of the rabbit hole. Join the page, follow the page, do whatever the hell the terminology is. Please share the video today so we can increase the interaction. I want as many thoughts as possible. I don't have an agenda today. I don't have a topic. My topic is reacting to you guys. Wild Card Wednesday. That's what we're here for. So, Walmart is starting to do cards, no cash. That is fucked up. Isn't Bill Gates' mom on the board or the person who started Planned Parenthood? No. The person who started Planned Parenthood, her name is Margaret Sanger, and she is a renowned racist. She started Planned Parenthood to kill black people. This is not even a secret. She didn't even hide it. She was very open. She was very public about how much she hated black people. This isn't a conspiracy theory. There's no one anywhere that denies this. Look it up. Do your research. Don't believe me. We can look ourselves because now I have the ability to do that. I'm so happy. Oh my God, this is making me cheese. I get to show you guys when I say something. I get to back it up. I love it. But I'm going to try to read these comments without my glasses. So if I fuck up, excuse me. All right, so Jesus Christ, this fucking thing wants to keep moving. So, all right. His father was big into all right, isn't Bill Gates all right, we just did that one. Isn't his father big into depopulation? He is into depopulation. Bill Gates is. I don't even know anything about his parents, but I know he's a front runner on it. I know he left the software industry, allegedly. I mean, obviously, if you don't think Bill Gates has some backdoor connections with Microsoft to have access to the information that they're stealing from your Windows PC, you're sadly mistaken. Check out Georgia Guidestones if you haven't heard of them already. Google it when you guys get a minute. I have heard of the Georgia Guidestones. However, I haven't done too much research into them. I would be lying to you if I told you I was an expert and I knew anything about them, but I recommend everyone listen to my boy Justin and go ahead and absolutely Google that because it is interesting. It was so interesting I couldn't even research it enough at the moment when I had heard about it. I said, ooh, that was interesting. I'll go back to that later, and that's exactly what I did. What else here? But don't studies prove that vaccines cause allergies or WE? I don't know what WE is. And, you know, maybe those studies do. I'm not even familiar with that when it comes to what they cause. But I know that vaccines contain very high levels of mercury. And why is it that outside of vaccines, mercury is considered an extremely dangerous chemical that is, you know, at the highest level of danger and the highest level of caution to be handled unless we're injecting it into children for a vaccine? Next. Rami, or to develop allergies and things. It's very possible. People say it has a link to autism. You never know. Let me see here. I became a Christian about 10 years ago, and everything I read and see is coming true right before my eyes. Quite scary. Isn't that correct? Jay, if you don't mind me giving a little bit of backstory on you and religion and your family situation, you can do it yourself, or I'd absolutely do it. That's a tremendous story. Just to be honest about my religion, I'm not a Christian. I am an agnostic. The only thing that's for sure is nothing's for sure. I'm not smart enough to tell anyone that I know for a fact how this world was created or what happens after we die. And I would be a fool if I claimed that I was smart enough to tell someone for a fact that I knew for a 100% certainty what was going to happen to people. And that's why I don't try. But I'm always open to discussing it. Let me see. What's next here after Jay Richter? Rami Abdallah. Or never mind, it was Bill Gates' dad that was on the board of Planned Parenthood. I don't doubt that one bit. Yvonne, yeah, look at his efforts in Africa. Absolutely. Bill Gates, 100%, not doing good things. Nobody ever talks about good things that Bill Gates did. Even the people on the left are highly suspect of Bill Gates and his vaccine push on this coronavirus. There are people who are super far left, like alt-left, crazy left, who are like, feed me the vaccine, put me on an IV for it, but, you know, give me Bill Gates in liquid form in my veins. But, like, most normal people don't say that. Jay Richter, yeah, his father was huge into depopulation. That's where he got it from, in fact. Look it up sometime. I absolutely will. Rami Abdallah, I know when I worked for CVS corporate pharmacists that, yeah, you're the one that told me this. You're the one that told me this. That he's exactly, that these people, okay, were told that they had to meet a quota of the amount of vaccines that they had to give people. But here's why it's fucked up. These are free. No one is paying for these. So why are you working so hard to meet a quota where your job is on the line? You know what I mean? To give people something for free. There's got to be an agenda. I heard somebody say today, when there's no cost, you are the product. Remember that. When there is no cost for the service, you are the product. Always remember that. And that stuck with me, and I read that today, and that will stick with me for a long time. When there is no cost, you are the product. And they were given bonuses for doing lots of them. Jay Richter, go ahead. You can speak on it, bud. My background, I don't mind. So just so you know, Jay Richter was adopted. Good dude. I remember I met his father and his mother. His mother passed away. Sweet woman. His dad was nice to me, too. Nothing to say about him. But he was adopted into a Jewish family. So he was raised Jewish. But I don't ever think he really believed it. I don't ever think he was really, he was never what you'd call a model Jewish follower, or I don't know what the terminology would be, but he wasn't someone that you'd say, you need to be a better Jewish boy like him. But if he found Christianity, I'm very happy for you. That's good for you. And especially, listen, one thing I could say, like I said, I'm agnostic, but I'm certainly open to listen to these Christian predictions. And if they're coming true left and right, you might find me on my knees praying for forgiveness far sooner than later. Because I can tell you right now, it certainly does seem like we are in an absolutely crazy time, and they're about to try to make changes that we can't go back on. Rami Abdallah, CVS gets paid something like $75 for each one they administer. Who's paying for these vaccines? How do you have enough money to develop the vaccine, manufacture the vaccine, bottle the vaccine, send the vaccine to someone, pay someone for the work to give someone the vaccine, and still manage to give CVS a bonus of $75 for each one? What is going on here, people? Spoiler alert, I have not been vaccinated in my adult life. I believe I only received one vaccination in school. I used to hide under the bleachers at Cranston West. I would not go. I would not stand up and go in line when they called me, and I did not get the vaccines. At that time, it was because I hated needles. And then later on in my life, I realized I don't want these people I don't trust putting shit in my body. When was the last time someone had the plague? Actually, that's a lie. People have the plague. There was a case in Spain or in China that I read about not too long ago. I don't know if it's a fear tactic or if the plague, the bubonic plague, is actually coming back. But I did read that there was a case of it. I might have posted on my Facebook. But the bottom line is I'm fine. And I've lived, and my brain works great, and I'm very happy about it. You know, I'm very happy to be the thinker that I am. I'm very happy to think outside of the box. I'm very happy to be able to read between the lines. What I want to do right now, I want to go back up to one of these news articles. I want to take a look from a USA Today article. Okay? So let me go ahead and switch over. So what we'll do is we'll keep the window capture on. Okay? And I'll just stretch my video up and down when it comes time to change what we're doing here. But let's see. FDA investigates lab as tens of thousands of COVID-19 results are questioned. So this doesn't even say that it's fake. So this is trying to be like, hey, no alarm here. They're being questioned. So already the narrative that this is trying to push on you, since we're talking about propaganda a bit today, this is trying to make you realize that it's not established, okay? The word questioned is the key word here. Because we've already read in the other article that they were found to be falsified. They have admitted it. This comes from 7:15 today at 2:41. This is merely a few hours ago. But the headline says questioned. And they're hoping that you don't read it, and they're hoping that you don't find out the validity of what's going on here. Let's go down and read the article. Federal regulators are investigating a Texas laboratory that a Florida hospital chain dropped last week because of delayed and unrelatable results. Advent Health, so this has a bit more details, which has 45 hospitals in 9 states, terminated its Florida contract due to the validity of some of the 60,000 tests that Microgen had processed for the system because the lab left them at room temperature for days. Advent Health statement, the specimens should be refrigerated 2 to 7 degrees Celsius, about 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and then put in freezers at minus 70 degrees Celsius, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Microgen promotes shipping Sputnik samples through FedEx on its website. The company also is selling a saliva-only test that can only be administered in a hospital clinic, drive-through clinic, or at home. In all 50 states, without an emergency use authorization from Florida Drug Administration, says Microgen according to the Food and Drug Administration. So this is just giving me more background. Says he doesn't believe the company needs. Okay, ready? Says he doesn't believe the company needs one. He filed for one anyway. Says he believes FDA is taking too long to approve it. Wait, I was wrong. According to the Food and Drug Administration, any COVID home testing with or without the use of telemedicine. So you need to have an emergency use authorization for during a public health emergency. That's what I skipped over on. I apologize for that. There were no authorizations per se at state level. It's notifying 25,000 patients who got unreliable delayed results. It's advising them to seek medical care and retesting if they seek negative but have COVID symptoms. Patients who test positive should also seek retesting. So this looks like a different situation with falsified test results. They're trying to spin it already here. They're not even talking about what we had just read. They're not even talking about the grotesque misrepresentation of numbers. They're trying to act like the problem here is false negatives. Okay? Retesting if they have negative COVID symptoms. This is what they're trying to, this is the image that this is trying to put on. Now, we're going to see if they actually have the real information. But they're trying to heavily make you believe that this mistake here, because again, it doesn't say that there are false positives in this headline. It doesn't say that the numbers are inflated. It doesn't say what the problem was. And then even when we're going down, like we just saw, they're trying to manipulate it here. So patient tested positive should also seek retesting. The dispute is expected to affect testing across the U.S. They had a number of other undisclosed clients. It notified the appropriate regulatory agencies of the issue that we experienced. FDA investigators are reviewing the data. In a statement, Martin said he was unaware of any inquiries in our lab, but added that the Advent Health announcements, it started working with the American College of Pathologists testing requirements, which we are confident we will continue to meet. So again, trying to save face here, it looks like to me that this is trying to, and then the FDA declined to comment. So the FDA are the bad guys now, but this company that's falsifying the information, we're going to quote them talking about, we're confident we're going to meet these things. We have not been contacted by the FDA or any matters related to our testing. We're confident that we should be contacted by the FDA. We'll meet all requirements and will fully cooperate. Unmet promises. Advent Health says the microchip failed to meet promises and turnaround times. I mean, how long is this fucking article? How do labs get approved? Now they're just getting into this right here is like, they're not talking about what the issue was the misrepresentation of the numbers. They're talking about how labs get approved. This is, okay, unmet promises. So they're trying to specify here a problem that they're basically creating, in my opinion, which is what the problem is. They're trying to get you to focus on these unmet promises. Samples at about 60,000, 10,000. Microgen's labs delayed and saw the samples left early April. And then how do labs get approved? They're trying to build the validity here of you can trust these laboratories. Here's what they have to do. Have a great reputation. In January, said she paid to have a settlement with the Justice Department, the anti-kickback case. So they're kind of calling them out on it a little bit. But really, it's trying to, as recent criticism, the FDA has become tougher. I mean, I can't even go all this because I already found out the bullshit. I've already realized that they're trying to put a spin on the story and they're not talking about what actually happened. So let's go ahead and back to the Facebook chat for 1 second. Let's go ahead and pull up the other story that was provided to me from Yvonne here. All right, ready? Lab busted for cooking the books. This is a bit more accurate to what's actually going on. Florida COVID-19 positive numbers fact check. Okay? Trust the one thing that is required to getting people. I gotta shut this fucking AC off. It is cold as shit. We're gonna go on and off with that thing a couple times today. But throwing out my nicotine pouch. But yeah, 19 safety guidelines. Several incidents happened in Florida over the past week raised questions. Alarming figures: more than 15,000 people testing positive in one day. Has just everyone disturbed. State made international headlines for the record-breaking number. People are questioning the labs. Stop. That was me shutting off my Google Home and an alarm that I don't know why it was set for right now. But alarming figure: more than 15,000 people testing positive. Okay, news broke after Jesse Melton. Okay, so here we go. So this is actually, a bit more accurate. I mean, we already did this. If you guys want to watch me cook through all three of these, I'm not gonna go ahead and bore you guys with that right now. But I did show you the basic premise there of how they kind of used. Oh my God, you got to see what this screen is showing me. Ridiculous. So many pictures of me. It's crazy. But you got to see. You got to be able to kind of read between the lines when you're looking at these news articles. Let's get back to comments here. This is what's important to me right now. All right, so Georgia Guidestones. I got to go way back down. Oh, never mind. It was his dad. Huge Depop. 75. Bubonic plague found in squirrel in Colorado. Jesus Christ. Like, unbelievable. If that's even... sure, it's true. We're all slowly getting screwed. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, between, plague-carrying squirrels in Colorado, I wonder how that happens. I wonder how the plague just appears after hundreds of years. But, I'm sure they'll come up with a valid reason. You gotta love this world, man. You gotta read between the lines. We live in a crazy fucking world, man. We live in a crazy world, and the fact that there are people who are just consistently trying to throw lies and bullshit in your face, and it's constant, and it's just ridiculous. It's unbelievable, and it's, I don't know. It boggles my mind, man. It boggles my mind. And it boggles my mind that more people don't see what's going on. More people don't question shit. And it's because of the distractions of TV. It's because my buddy Ray Vicalis. I'm still waiting for them murder hornets. Every time I hear about murder hornets, I just think of Ja Rule, and I'm like, murder! And I just see hornets running around with Ja Rule's face on them. Murder INC. Just being fucking murder hornets and Ja Rule fanatics. You gotta love murder hornets. But I'm just so surprised that more people don't see this and look into this shit. And it's because they're so distracted. It's just like my boy Joe Marcinko said. And I know Joe is a good dude. But like he said, he doesn't look into something if he doesn't care about it. But, even a lot of times when people do care about things, when people have something that they care about, like George Floyd, and they care so strongly about it, that it boggles my mind on how, son of a bitch, I gotta change this fucking thing, that they don't look more into that, and they were so quick to jump to conclusions due to their emotional response of the situation. Google Chrome is your default browser. Yeah, but what's my default search engine? Hold on here. Manage search engines. Google will be my default. How do I fucking make it my default? Oh, wow. Every time I right click, it says search DuckDuckGo. That's dope, actually. I'm just going to do that then. Sorry for kind of getting distracted for a second, but I'm trying to pull up a video I want everyone to watch. It's very important to me here. But it's posted to my Facebook, and I want to watch it with you guys. It's very important simply because it's one of the most important things, apparently, that's happened in a long time in all of our lives. And it represents the one and only martyr for the brutalized. That is none other than the patron saint
Police transcripts
himself,
from George Floyd's arrest
Floyd.
are raising concerns over
But what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and I am going to share this video with you guys, and we're going to watch it together. So before I go ahead and load the page, actually, no, I'm going to load the page first. Okay, give me 1 second. Browser source. Like I said, new tools, man, so I'm getting used to using them. I'm sorry for the slowdown in the action here, but we're about to watch a video all together, and we're going to have a good time doing it, okay? So I want to put this on. It's going to take me a second to do what I want to do, so bear with me.
Police transcripts from George Floyd's arrest are raising concerns over the official cause of his death. One America's Christian Rose looks into the matter.
I want to lay on the ground. I want to lay on the ground. I want to lay on the ground. Lane says, you're getting in the squad car. Floyd, I want to lay on the ground. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm going down.
New details emerge in ongoing investigation of the death of George Floyd during his arrest in Minneapolis on May the 25th. Last week, investigators released the transcripts of officers Thomas Lane and J. Alexander King's body cam footage. While the actual videos have yet to be released, Officer Lane's attorney says transcripts show his client was following police protocol and did nothing wrong.
George Floyd had resisted being handcuffed, and he had resisted going into the back of the squad car. While he was resisting going into the squad car, he also said then, I can't breathe. He claimed he had claustrophobia.
The transcripts show the officers asked Floyd to put his hands up at least 13 times, to which Floyd was not reacting adequately and saying he was sorry instead. Also in the car was Floyd's friend, who was telling him to put his hands up as well. But Floyd was hardly responsive, prompting Officer Lane to briefly pull a gun on him.
Well, because he did not show his hands. Once he put his hands on the steering wheel, he put the gun in his holster. Why did he do that? Because now his hands were shown. They're on the steering wheel.
Transcripts also show Floyd was completely disoriented, as if he didn't understand what was going on. The store clerk, who called police after allegedly being given a fake $20 bill by Floyd, claimed at the scene Floyd may have been drunk. But it turned out to be something else.
The individual he had arrested originally was under the influence of drugs.
The transcripts then show Floyd admitted he gave a counterfeit bill to the store clerk, suggesting his initial arrest was likely justified. Officer Lane asked directly if Floyd was high on drugs, which Floyd denied, but then said he was, quote, hooping something earlier that day. Hooping is a term that means smuggling illegal drugs in someone's rectum, which may be one way the drugs got into Floyd's system, explaining his erratic behavior. And the initial autopsy of Floyd's body reportedly found 11 nanogram per milliliter of fentanyl in his blood, while the lethal dose could be as low as 7.
The combined effects of Mr. Floyd being restrained by the police, his underlying health conditions, and any potential intoxicants in his system likely contributed to his death.
In addition, autopsy found marijuana and methamphetamine in Floyd's system, which may explain his paranoia frenzy and struggle walking, while officers Lane and King tried to put him in the police car. Amid that struggle, transcripts show Officer Derek Chauvin arrives at the scene. Chauvin then told Floyd if he couldn't breathe, then how was he able to talk and scream, as it, quote, takes a lot of oxygen to do that. And some experts tend to somewhat agree.
You don't know how much pressure was being applied to that trachea. We know that because George was talking at least some of the time, you can conclude that he did not have total tracheal occlusion for the entire duration of the knee being on the neck.
The transcripts raise a lot more questions, which may point to exculpatory evidence for police officers there. But the complexity of issues behind Floyd's death will likely produce a lengthy battle in court going forward. Christian Rose, One American News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to...
Look at that, huh? Look at that. So I was dying to play that video for you guys today. And I want to know what you think. Robert Giarrusso, Harp, we are going to get to Harp very shortly. I promise you that. I absolutely will talk about Harp. We can play a video on Harp because we will probably all learn a little bit more. I could talk about what Harp is, but if we want to learn details about Harp and you want to see pictures and see where it is and how it works, what we could do is play a video and watch it together and talk about it. I love that idea. But for a second, I want to address what we just watched. Let's address what we just all watched together, people. What did we just see? Did we just see a video stating that the body cam footage is going to be released? And it's going to state that George Floyd was talking about how he can't breathe long before he ever went to the ground? Did we just watch a video asking that George Floyd requested to lay on the ground? Did we just watch a video saying that George Floyd admitted to police that he had been smuggling drugs inside of himself earlier that day? I'm going to ask you one question. Because it's not whether or not I think Derek Chauvin should go to jail. Because whether or not he should go to jail and whether or not he acted by the book, I don't know. Because I'm not a police officer. But I think one thing we can all agree on, having just that little bit more evidence, is that this was not racism. This was not police brutality. This was a man who was on a lot of drugs. Okay? This was a man who was struggling to breathe and was acting erratically and was under the influence of narcotics or some foreign substance, as we had seen, which was large amounts of methanol and methamphetamine found within him. Okay? But that would be waiting on the whole story to make a judgment. So what about every single police officer that was killed in the name of George Floyd? What about every black-owned business that was taken down and burned and looted In the name of George Floyd. What about that 19-year-old kid who was killed in Seattle at CHOP or Chaz that was created over George Floyd? What happens to them? Do they ever get to know the truth about George Floyd? Or does it look like as a population, we may have reacted prematurely to this George Floyd situation? And we may have jumped the gun in assuming racism was the problem and assuming this was a situation of police brutality before we had all the facts. There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm going to wait till all the facts come out to make an assumption here, which is exactly what I said when I was first shown this video. It certainly looks like a piece of shit cop, but I have no idea what happened to get them into that position, so I'm not going to make a judgment. He might have reached for the guy's gun. Turns out he wasn't even strangling him, most likely. He may have contributed to the loss of oxygen, but from what the coroner's report said, he died of a heart attack from a heart issue, not lack of oxygen to the brain. Now again, you could say he kneed on his jugular. Okay, so maybe it was the knee. I'm not going to debate that. But was it racism? Was it grotesque police brutality? The answer is no, people. The answer is no. And if you're just joining us, we just watched a video of the police officer's lawyer, Derek Chauvin, and possibly Derek Chauvin's lawyer. I'm not sure which officer it was. But the lawyer representing the officers in the George Floyd incident, speaking and referencing the full transcripts of the body cam footage. Now ask yourself this question. Why hasn't the body cam footage been released publicly? Would it happen to be because if the body cam footage came out publicly, the narrative would be ruined? No. You don't think they would conceal evidence from you because it would completely shut down their narrative and end the race war in one fell swoop? You don't think they would do that, do you? They wouldn't be trying to push a race war artificially. Black Lives Matter, I thought. What about David Dorn? His life didn't matter. And apparently neither did George Floyd's. And apparently neither does the truth. Because to be honest with you, all that matters is the truth. Everybody knows that every single human life except for pedophiles matters. Okay? And everybody knows that what's more important than that, well, equally as important, is the truth. Let's get back to these comments. Well, I want to talk about HAARP, but first I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about everyone else's comments here because I want this to be more interactive. And what I want even more while I'm reading your comments is to please do me a favor and take a second to share this video and share the BG from the bottom of the rabbit hole page, because this is where I'm going to do my videos from now on, so I can go ahead and use these tools that I have to bring up websites, to play videos for you guys, to be able to show you things that I want to talk about and watch it together and comment on it together. So please go ahead and do me that favor and share the video. And I'm going to talk about Mr. J.M. Bama. My issue is they knew each other from working at a bar prior to all this. But regardless, two things I want to say, and we can research the news article and we can pull it up if someone wants to, and we can go over the quotes if you don't believe what I'm saying is the truth. But they did work at a place together. That's correct. But from what the owner of the place said, they worked in entirely separate places. George Floyd worked inside, and the police officer, Derek Chauvin, worked outside as security, and they may have never even interacted. They said, I have no idea if they have any sort of previous relationship. And if you're referencing that they work together and you're referencing that this may be a conspiracy, which I also heard people talk about, and that George Floyd was intentionally murdered as a cover-up, potentially having to do with him smuggling those drugs, then again, that's information that we can all look into together as a society looking for the truth. But let's not burn down buildings and scream Black Lives Matter when this man died most likely of a fentanyl overdose. And he was asking to lay on the ground and saying he couldn't breathe before any officer had even acted inappropriately, even suspected inappropriately. And why don't we ask why? Why aren't the body cams being released? Why isn't the audio being released? Why are we watching news reports from OAN with transcripts and not actually watching the footage and the audio? Why? Why? It's because there's a narrative to protect, man. Rami, but they're saying the knee did not put enough pressure on him to stop him from breathing or speaking. Correct. That is correct. But you could potentially say he cut off the blood supply. That's what they're going to argue. I'm preempting the argument because that's what I would say. That would be my thing is, well, is it the blood? And if it was the blood, then so be it. And I'm not absolving Derek Chauvin of wrongdoing. I'm not saying that. Did he act inappropriately? I don't know. I'm not a master of police code, and neither are you. Unless you are, then by all means, educate us. But if you're a matter of police code, and my friend Raymond brought up something about the white paper or something like that, stating what the police code is for police to do because it's on a white piece of paper, I don't know what it has to do with. They also talked about EX something. I don't remember. If my buddy Ray is watching and he wants to post about it, basically it's when people are on drugs, how they become extra strong and invincible, similar to the bath salts, how people turned into bath salt zombies and absorbed shotgun bullets and kept coming forward. It's kind of that case scenario where you become like you're empowered by chemicals within your own body. And they're instructed to treat people who are in that situation due to chemical agents and treat them a certain way. And the first way to treat them is by putting a knee on the back of the neck. I'm going off of what someone else told me. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't looked into that disease. I haven't looked into the white papers. I haven't seen what the protocols are. So I'm not going to tell you I know for a fact. But I will tell you I know for a fact it's not racism. I will tell you I know for a fact it's not obscene police brutality. Because we've all seen what we've seen, and now that we have context, we can all decide as level-headed human beings that they did not murder this man. That it was not an absolute attempt on this man's life. In my opinion. I'll say that, in my opinion. Because I'm putting motive on people, and I truly don't believe that it was intentional murder. I believe that the man... Then again, you can't murder someone of a fentanyl overdose. Unless you shot them up with fentanyl. Rami Abdallah, even the police union said they have not been allowed to see it. What does that tell you? Ask fucking why, people. Ask why. Why haven't we seen the body cams yet? Why haven't we heard the unedited, uncensored, unredacted audio of the entire incident? It exists. Racism is not an epidemic, and police brutality is not an epidemic. They are lying to you. They are trying to take away our police. They can't take our guns, so they're going to take the people with guns who protect us. Force us to use our own guns and then call us murderers when we protect ourselves. This is the plan, people. Wake up. JM Bama, the wife is wanting to know, what do we think about Ahmaud Arbery? I'm going to be honest, I couldn't tell you Ahmaud Arbery. If Ahmaud Arbery is the guy in Georgia who took the police spray, took the taser and turned the taser on the cop, that guy turned a deadly weapon on he resisted arrest, he assaulted a police officer, he stole a police officer's weapon, and he turned the weapon on the police officer. That's grounds for excessive force. Because at that point, it's you or them. Be realistic, people. Be realistic. And if that's not who Ahmaud Arbery is, I don't know, share a video of the Ahmaud Arbery case, and I'll gladly put it on. We can all watch it and comment on it. Because, again, I'm looking at other shit. I haven't sat there and researched every single victim on my own. But, I can only imagine with Ahmaud Arbery, there's an extremely convoluted story. I'm not going to tell you I know about it if I don't. If I talk about something, it's because I know about it 100%. Dude said he couldn't breathe mad times. Yes, he said he couldn't breathe mad times before the police officers even roughed him up. We just watched a video, Rich. I'm going to share the video right here in the comment section for anyone who wasn't with us and wants to take a second to watch the video. That video that I just posted, that is the video in question. Okay? The transcripts from the body cam footage came out. This man said he couldn't breathe before anyone was choking him. He was having an episode relating to a drug overdose. The videos that you have seen have been out of context. Where is the body cam audio from the moment that the police made contact with him? Why have we not been allowed to see this as the public? Why have people died in his name without seeing the body cam footage? Why have we had multiple funerals for him on television if we have not seen the body cam footage? They don't want you to know what happened, people. They think you have enough information to make a decision. You never have enough information to make a decision unless you have all of the information. And even now, we have more of it, but we haven't heard the audio clips ourselves. But it's safe, at least at this point, to begin to conclude that the odds of this being a racially motivated, grotesque example of police brutality is almost impossible. Extremely unlikely. You're going to get some guns before they defund the police? Yes. Yes. No, the jogger that happened before Floyd. I don't know. If you want to share a little bit more of that, absolutely. I wanna know a bit more about Ahmaud Arbery. I don't know the full situation. I don't know all the details. Jay Richter, I skipped his comment. Always when I read something, I ask myself, why? What's the narrative? Why is this being said? Exactly. I heard about, all right, ready? My first experience with George Floyd was someone posting a news article, and it was just still shots of the police officer on the back of George Floyd's throat. And I went, wow, that's fucked up. Police brutality. Wonder what happened to get him there. Wonder what he did to be put in that position. I wonder how the media is going to spin it. Probably won't be anything big. Let's move on. Then I get a call from a close friend of mine, and he's like, did you see this footage? The police, you got to watch George Floyd. It's racism. The police are racist. They're killing people in the streets. LeBron James tweeted about it. They're racist. Literally exact words. He referenced LeBron James's tweet. So I sat there and I talked to him and I said, why is it racist? Because the cop's white, the guy's black. I didn't even remember that. I had to go back and look at the video after he told me to actually remember white cop, black guy. So I'm like, okay, you're right. I guess it was a white cop, black guy. So I'm like, well, it's not. What makes you think racism? Who knows what happened to get him there? Well, I don't care what happened. He could have grabbed his gun. Doesn't matter. He shouldn't do that to someone. He's screaming for his mom. Okay, but how do we know he wasn't trying to kill? Let's put this into context. Like, I get it. What the guy did isn't okay. Doesn't look all right, at least to the naked eye. Certainly from what I've seen, I'm not going to say that cop was in the right. But let's get all the information first before we make a decision. And now we have this. So, absolutely insane. You know, from the bottom of the rabbit hole, that's me. You're going to get some guns for the police? Yes. Okay, so we got a video that I'm going to watch here, provided to us from the Whamma Bama Slamma Jamma out of Alabama. It is my man Justin. He doesn't have his real name there, so I'm not going to expose his real name. But he's a good dude. All right, so give me a second here. Let me get this video booted up. We're going to all watch this together for the first time, okay? So, browser source. Let's see if I can go in and edit it. Properties. Yeah, okay, I can do this every time. Perfect.
Police transcripts from
ignore
George
this. I
Floyd's
apologize.
arrest are raising concerns over the official.
Okay. Now, let's go back into Viewtown. Are you ready for this?
Protesters marching outside the Georgia State Dome there, demanding justice for a murdered Brunswick, Georgia man. Earlier this afternoon, people gathered near the Gold Dome carrying signs in honor of Ahmaud Arbery. And recently released video shows the final moments of his life. This is difficult to watch. Arbery was jogging and unarmed when two white males in a truck chased him down, saying they thought he was a burglary suspect. What follows is so graphic that we are stopping the video. Arbery was shot and killed during a fight with one of those men.
Oh, now I'm
Right.
familiar a little bit with
Cries for
this.
justice, finally, Rick, being heard.
This is the
That's right,
spin
Sean.
now.
A grand jury will
Well, I don't know if
decide
it's a
whether
spin.
criminal charges should be filed. CBS 46's Haley Mason is talking with Arbery's family about these latest developments.
It's hard to watch, but this is the newly released cell phone video that shows the traumatic last moments of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery's life. Arbery's family tells us he was on his daily run
Whoa.
around his neighborhood in Brunswick when a witness recorded these two men carrying loaded guns chasing after him in their pickup truck. Gregory McMichael is standing in the truck. His son Travis is on the street fighting with Arbery and apparently holding a shotgun. Arbery's family, though, says he was unarmed and alone.
He wanted to stay fit, and that was his thing. That's why he was always jogging. He did it every day, sometimes 2 times a day.
All right, well, I'm going to
spoke
be
with
honest
Arbery's
about
aunt.
this one. So, when it comes to that, I don't think I even really need to see or know too much more. But to the naked eye, and again, I mean, this is something where if you really want me to talk about it, I'd have to go do some more research, and I don't know if right now that's what we want to do is research Ahmaud Arbery. But, I mean, just from simply what I'm seeing, it seems to me like it's two civilians who got out of a car, attacked a man, and decided to exercise deadly force with no training. It seems to me like that is not an issue of police violence. As far as being racially motivated, I don't know. Because, again, that's putting intent on someone else. You don't assume racism. Are they pieces of shit? Maybe. Are they racist? Maybe. Did they think they were doing something good? Maybe. I don't know what their intentions were. But for me to put intentions on it, that's making a giant leap of faith. I would like some more information. I'd like to do more research. I'd like to do backgrounds on these two people. And I'd like to find out who they were. I'd like to know if they own these guns legally or illegally. I would like to know if they knew Ahmaud Arbery and they had a prior history with him. Okay? Covered up for 3 months by multiple DAs in Georgia. 30-year-old cop, retired cop with son. Now that's a bit different because now it's no longer just a citizen. This is why I said I don't jump to conclusions. So he's a retired cop. I don't know what the protocols are for retired cops and their sons. Justin, since you know, who pulled the trigger? Was it the retired cop or was it the son? And who's the one that got out? Let me ask you this. I saw a guy in the truck and I saw a guy struggling with a person who I believe to be Ahmaud Arbery, okay? Who was the guy in the truck? What was the cop in the truck or was the cop with Ahmaud Arbery? And which one pulled the trigger? I would like to know. But from what I'm seeing and from what I can imagine, it seems to me like potentially the retired cop, and who knows why he did it or what he was doing. I certainly don't think it's a good idea that anyone covers up anything. I think when it comes to police, what's the word I'm looking for? Transparency is key. That's why I'm such a fan of body cams on police officers, because it forces, not only does it hold them accountable for their transgressions, but it also exonerates them to their accusers. It works both ways. You can prove a cop's innocence and you can prove a cop's misconduct. You can't do that when there's a rogue retired police officer on the street. And if it was covered up by the district attorney, most likely due to a friendship, you said both. Son on street. That's what I want to know. Okay, now I want to know who pulled the trigger. So if the son's on the street, oh, they both shot, you're saying. Okay. So if they both shot, well, the son's just a citizen. He has no ground shooting people. They shouldn't be driving around in their truck looking for people. Although if they were looking for him, that's one thing. If they found him, and like they said, they thought he was this. I heard something about a suspected citizen's arrest with this case. Now that you've reminded me of what it is, I'm a bit familiar. Jogging the neighborhood and then ambushed and accused of trespassing. That's a little extent. That's a little extreme. So again, based on the information I have now, certainly going to say I don't think it's right. I'm certainly going to say that those two people should face their day in court. I'm certainly going to say that someone should look into the district attorney as why he would cover this up and why he would, look to do something unlawful concerning this incident. But I believe that lawyers and I believe that detectives should get all of the evidence and maybe even a third party, which I believe happens. I believe they have something called the internal IEB or the Internal Something Bureau, basically looks into issues involving police because they don't let police other police. So, but I certainly believe that it should be looked into. I definitely could say it doesn't come off as, oh, that's absolutely fine. I think these people should jump out of this truck and kill people. No one should kill anybody. If there was a fight and there was a struggle, they're not police officers. They're not authorized to use deadly force. If they really thought he was trespassing, they should have called 911. They should have attempted to, if they were doing a citizen's arrest, then first of all, only the retired cop should have gotten involved, not his son. I mean, I don't know, though. I don't know the laws enough. Again, I'm talking without knowing the laws. I don't know the laws. I'm not in a position to judge what I think about it. What do I think about it? To the naked eye, to the untrained eye, it looks fucked up, but I don't know the laws, so it's not my job to make an innocent or guilty decision on these people, but it certainly appears to the naked eye like they were very much in the wrong 100%. What was the motivation? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. He might have, who knows? They might not have liked the way he fucking, they might not have liked the way he looked at him. They might not like the way he fucking, the clothes he was wearing. I have no fucking idea. They might have genuinely been there to try to stop trespassers. I don't know if it was their property or not. I have no idea. These are questions that need to be asked. Was there something that was said? Was there something that was done? It doesn't justify what happened, but I want all the information. I want every piece of information before I decide why someone did something. Because you can't decide why someone does something on half of the information. Why am I doing these videos? Unless you have all of the information, you don't know. You're suspecting why I did these videos. And I'm also telling you what I do know, and that's that I need you guys to follow the BG From the Bottom of the Rabbit Hole page. Give me a follow, like the video, comment, drop a comment in the thing. I'm going to talk about it, share the video. And while you guys are doing that, let me get to a couple of comments here. Right, internal affairs. Yes, that was what I was saying. These all kidnapping within weeks these all happening within weeks or so of each other, kicked off the crazy. But you cannot judge a retired police officer and his son acting out of the line of duty along with George Floyd, who we didn't have all the information on. And then the other incident in Georgia with the gentleman who resisted arrest, did a felony assault on a police officer, stole a police officer's weapon and turned the weapon on the police officer. And by the way, this is a gentleman who was let out of jail on parole for the coronavirus, and he was caught drunk in his car sleeping. Doesn't justify his murder, the felony assault on a police officer, the turning the weapon on a police officer, that he stole from that same police officer is what justified the use of excessive force. But again, you need all of the information when you get these issues. You need everything. You can't just have some of the information. You can't jump to conclusions. We're not here to pick and choose which information we need and which information we don't. We need all of the information every single time we make a fucking decision. You would not buy a house unless you had all the information on the house. You would not buy a car unless you had all the information on a car. You would not marry a man or a woman if you did not have all the information on the person that you were going to marry. That's why we date someone. It's called a courting process. You learn the person and you get all the information, and then you make a decision on, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. You do not make irrational decisions based on half information. No matter what the situation is. There is no exception to the situation. You always need all the information, or as much of it as you can get. You get every piece of available information, and then once you have that information, you begin to make a decision. It's that simple. What's going on next? Any more comments? Drop some comments. I'm going to take a nice sip of my iced coldie, and then we can begin to drop a video in. Let's watch a video you want me to talk about. Drop a news article that you want me to read and you want me to take a look at. We have technology today, folks. This is not like my past couple streams where it was just me talking. I have the ability to add media. I have the ability to add websites. We can get interactive. I can show you guys what propaganda is. We can look shit up. Ask me shit. HAARP. Let's talk about HAARP for a second. We talked about wanting to talk about HAARP. HAARP is a machine that was created by our government, I believe. I'm not 100% sure who created it, but I know it exists. And from what we understand, it has the ability to control the weather. So if you want, what I'll do here, if we could just explain that to the world. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, brother. That's what I'm trying to do, is explain this to the world, man. You know it. I promise you. This is what I'm trying to fucking do right here, right now, for sure. I'm trying to get this out. That's why I'm asking you to like the video and share the video so we can talk about these things to people and we can explain. You people are jumping to conclusions. Do not believe the first thing you're told. Don't believe the first thing you're told and then tell me that I'm a sheep, because I didn't believe the first thing I was told and I waited until I had all the information to make a decision. It's the opposite of being a sheep. Don't you understand this? Sheep believe what they're told and they go in that direction. Someone like me says, what do you mean? Wait, why do you want me to go that way? All the other sheep are going that way. Why do you want me to go that way? I'm not going to go just because the other sheep are going. That sounds stupid. These sheep might be idiots. They might be walking into their death. I'm going to sit here and wait for you to tell me why, and that's why I'm not the sheep. I'm the fucking herder. And I want all of you to be herders with me. Help us herd the fucking sheep who don't ask questions in the right direction. I don't think these people are bad people. I'm trying to show everyone the right way to look at information in 2020. They are constantly trying to manipulate you. They are constantly trying to tell you what to think and how to act and what to do. Do not allow this. I hope this is a YouTube video about HAARP. I'm going to open it. If it is, I'll be very excited.
Before the pandemic, Ed Markey fought for help.
Oh, this is a video about ID wallets. We're going to first take a second to look up HAARP. And then we're going to watch a nice little video together. See, when you search YouTube and you search HAARP, every single one is, why is HAARP not a conspiracy theory? HAARP is absolutely fine. All right, ready? A nice 3-minute video. HAARP and Sura, IGO-TV. We're going to watch this one together right now. We're going to watch this and we're going to talk about it, okay? Get in here. Browser source. Properties.
It's the Big One sales event at Eastern Shore Toyota. Drop.
Okay, now we're going to turn it on. We're going to interact. Hold on, we're going to rewind this in case it was important. Oh, not that way. There's HAARP. There it is. It's not really teaching you too much about it. This is actually a great opportunity for me to talk over it. It's pretty much just, there we go. Showing you where HAARP is using its signals and how it's interacting. All right? Here we go. Particles reflect energy. Used as a radar to detect missiles or aircraft. But military can be used directed energy to remove. Global climate could be controlled using radio signals in some parts of the planet. Other operating HAARP facilities. Sura. There we go. In Russia. Again, it's never just us. Oh, Japan. MU radar. Look at this. We ain't the only ones, man. but they want you to believe that this is a nothing to be seen here, folks, type issue. All right, now I'm going to copy this link address here. Okay, this one is short video about Sweden kicking off the Mark of the Beast. You know what? Very true. First one's a short video about Sweden kicking off the Mark of the Beast, which is what I'm going to watch next. I do want to take a quick look into Mary. Mary, I love you, Mary. Very glad you're watching today. Very glad you're sharing. What is this video? Oh, my good Lord. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I can't believe what I'm witnessing. Oh my good God. This is absolute. This is man. Oh my God. I'm going to play that video. I'll play this video. Hold on. Holy shit. I can't even believe it. I watched it with no sound. I have a feeling the sound is going to be horrible, and we're going to watch it with the sound together. This is fucking terrible. Are you guys ready for this? I don't think you are ready for this, to be honest with you. This is not easy to watch. This may trigger some people, but that's why we're here. You don't wake up if you let someone sleep. We're going to watch it once while I'm setting it up with... Oh, come on. Not now. Oh my God. That's a man. Oh my fucking God. I don't even know what to say.
Due to personal reasons, I will no longer...
I can only imagine how little press that video clip is going to get. Let's tune in tonight to the mainstream media and see if that clip gets any press. I'm very, very curious. Spoiler alert, it won't get any press. So, in a second, we're going to take a look at ID chips here. That'll be the next video we watch together, but I think we need to compress what we just watched. Rava Callis, can't see. Yeah, I saw that. Very disturbing. Yes, I agree. I don't even know what the fuck to say. And I felt bad because that was a girl who looked like she was literally doing absolutely nothing. Again, I don't know all the details. I don't know what she said to these people. I don't know if she instigated that. I have no idea. But I certainly saw many people and one girl who was not attacking or defending herself being struck multiple times. I mean, I'd love to know more information, but I can certainly tell you that it doesn't fit the narrative that the news sets, and you probably won't see that on television anywhere outside of Fox News or social media. That's for sure. You just won't. And I'm not saying Fox News is great for showing it, but it'll probably be Tucker Carlson trying to point out the hypocrisy of the left media by saying, look at this clip that you didn't watch today. I bet you they didn't show you that next door on those other news stations. And he's right. And I'm not saying that the woman was wrong or right because I don't have enough information to judge. We just established that a little while ago. You don't judge information. You don't judge something like that unless you have all the information. But Jesus, just like I said about Ahmaud Arbery, it certainly didn't appear right what those people did by any means. I absolutely do not justify them using excessive force. There's no way to justify it. They should have contacted the actual police. And in this situation, that woman looked like she was victimized by multiple people who were conspiring to simply humiliate her. I know the original Facebook clip, if you had noticed, mentioned something about white privilege. What was actually written in the clip stated, "The new normal, ? White privilege girl being taught who's in charge now with blessings from the local mayors and city leaders." So this person seems to think that it was racially motivated. I don't know if it was racially motivated. I mean, I don't want to make that decision. Like I said, I don't know what that woman said to them. But regardless, it appeared that there were multiple men hitting that woman, and everyone was condoning it. So I think that really goes to state to the fact that why are they condoning men abusing women? Really even watching any human abuse a non-aggressive human who's not fighting back. Why would that happen? Why would anyone think that's okay to stand by and do nothing? So that's really disturbing, to be honest with you. You know, let's take a look at this ID chip video because, again, people, this is real life. This is your future. They are going to try to do this to you. Okay? They are going to do this to you. I'm not making this up. This is real life. I wish I was making this up. Listen, if I'm wrong and all this shit is not really happening, please let me know. Prove me wrong, because I don't want to believe we live in a world like this. But unfortunately, it's the reality of today. Hold on. I'm trying to resize the video in a more appropriate size when I turn it on. Okay, give me 1 sec here. Oh, there we go. I just need to double click on it. That's going to make this video playing a lot easier. Still working out these new kinks. And before I play this video, everyone, I just want to take 1 second to ask you. We have 11 viewers in here joining us. Thank you, everyone. First of all, thank you, honestly, for taking your time to come and talk to me when I go live at 5. We've been live for a bit now. We've been talking. We've been, looking at different things, news articles, reading them, watching videos. Please share the page, BG from the bottom of the rabbit hole, because it's lonely down here once you went to the bottom of the rabbit hole and you're all by yourself. You want to bring people down with you and you want to share what you've learned when you're down here. That's the purpose of the name. That's the purpose of the channel. And the channel itself allows me to use this program, which allows me to share media and watch YouTube videos and take a look at websites and read news articles with you. So this is what I want to go ahead and do. It's very important to me. Go ahead and take a second, share the video, share the page, follow the page if you haven't already. And let's resize my video and let's get ready to take a look at
this is how much cinnamon it takes to drop blood sugar.
Thank God it's an ad while I adjust.
Studies show that when it's taken every single day.
Oh, this is hard. All right, in all fairness, if this guy's going to play music and do a video, I'm not trying to get a copyright strike over music that I don't know what it is. I would much rather stick to like a news type video. But this first one that you shared with the ID cards. Oh, Ray Vacalis also shared a video. I realized I had skipped a couple comments here because I saw a link and I thought it was the same comment. I apologize. So I'm going to get to Ray's video in a second as well. But first, I want to get to this video about ID cards. Hold on. And 3, 2, 1.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
Like touch it?
Yeah.
It's not real, people. Remember.
Weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all in chip, so I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. So
Oh, how happy.
No.
Hold on.
So what I need to do is I need...
Hey, all right, everybody. How happy. It's cool. Get one. You can buy snacks. You don't need a wallet. It's cool, right? It's so cool. Just want to say, that's the message. That's the narrative of this video. Nice, happy. Hey, and now he can buy snacks with no wallet. Look at him. He has a microchip in his hand, and he's free to buy snacks and use an ID without having to carry around that pesky wallet. So if you get the opportunity, you can buy snacks too. Come on, man.
I need to first blip my chip, I need to log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future. Install ingrained
Okay.
procedure with local
Blame it on TV shows. Now, this is why, when I was talking about propaganda, okay, the reason that I was mentioning propaganda being in movies, music, television, news, print, and advertisement, every single type of media that you can have, it's not always, it is to make you think and believe a certain way, But a lot of times what they'll do with movies, like watch the movie Eyes Wide Shut, which I personally have never seen, but I've seen enough of it to understand what the purpose is. And it's about these weird ritualistic cults and elite sacrifices and whatnot. And they make movies like this, so when someone tries to say that it's happening in real life, they can go, oh, you mean like in that movie? Oh, come on, man. Get out of here with your conspiracy theory. You're not serious, man. This motherfucker thinks the movies are real, right? Oh, let me guess, Aliens is real too, right? The movie Aliens, Ripley's gonna get out a flamethrower, right? Come on, man. That's what they want you to think. So they make the movies with the reality involved in them so they can use the fact that it's in a movie to discredit people later on in life when you have a conversation about it. Also watch They Live, same type of thing. Let's finish the video.
Aesthetic, and you're good to go. In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards,
which have made cash pretty much
RFID
obsolete
chips.
in Sweden.
No cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
A chip fair for those on the cutting edge. That's subliminal right there. That's propaganda. Okay, so now you're associating this technology with only the cutting edge people have it. So it's a sales technique. You want this. This is what the people on the cutting edge are doing. Don't you want to be on the cutting edge? Get a chip. I didn't even know if that was necessary to say, but I just wanted to point it out because I heard it. And this is, again, this is my first time watching this video. This is just how I process media. This is how I process things. I'm listening to what they're telling me, but I'm more paying attention to how are they trying to make this look? How are they framing this? Okay? What window are they are they framing this in a positive light or in a negative light? You know? So let's finish the video.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The
Fun.
process is simple and swift.
Simple
a
and
pinch
swift.
Of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted.
Just like that.
Transformation is complete.
Transformation
pain,
is complete.
I barely felt it.
But even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot. I think.
Now, here's the people who are bringing up the counter to it. I guarantee you something is going to be said or done to minimize what these people said. Now, first of all, as you can see how we've already framed this news video, okay? The beginning half of the video has showed us how advanced, how harmless, safe, easy, effective, and cutting edge this technology is. Now they're showing these women on the street, and in a way, by contrast, they're being set out as people who just don't get it, or people who are behind the times, conspiracy theorists, not hip enough to get along with the movement. You know, let's finish. I'll rewind a couple seconds so we can review that part again.
But even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot.
Not everyone is racing. Does that actually mean there are people who are adamantly fucking against it? Does that mean that there are people who are 100% willing to protest this? But the news frames it as not racing to get. So there's another misdirection for you.
I think, so much more data can go into this, when it's in your body.
There's no central registry tracking how many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannes Wellblood estimates between 5,000 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it'll be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human microchipping may be our future, but in Sweden, it's already reality. Sarah Harmon, NBC News, Stockholm.
NBC News.
Okay, so obviously these people seem to believe that everyone is going to do this, or many people are going to do this, and it's presented as completely harmless and fun. They don't bring up any of the counters. They don't talk about why someone wouldn't want to do it. They don't mention the mark of the beast. They just simply... That was a great example. Jay Richter, I thank you very much for that video. Not only for the great information that it provided and showcasing to people that this is very real today. No one's denying it, and it's not a conspiracy theory, but it gave me the opportunity to take a piece of manipulative media and be able to show you how I view it, which is very important to me. A large part of the reason I did this is I want to show you guys how I think and how I process media, because I like to look at myself as bullshit proof. I like to look at myself as I have a bullshit meter that is second to none. And I might be wrong. I might get fooled once in a while as well. You know, it happens. These people are the greatest deceivers in the history of mankind and have more technology and have more means to deceive people than ever in the history of humanity. But we also have more resources ourselves to fight the deception and to seek actual information, knowledge, and enlightenment, which is what I'm trying to do with everyone here today. All right, so let me take a look. Can't see. That's why they're going to push vaccines. Bill Gates is a monster. No one questions that. Why would they mention the GPS? Why would they? I wish they would mention the GPS that would be in it. LOL. Yeah, absolutely. They're not even talking about the potential GPS tracking fucking people. Can you believe that? You can RFID dogs today, and they pick up stray dogs and call their owners and say, "We have your dog." So this is a reality. They can also see when he passes the trooper on the highway. Yeah, absolutely. And the officer can know exactly who's passing them. And if you have a warrant, they're going to come to arrest you, which is what it is, because you shouldn't have a warrant. But at the end of the day, tracking people in that sense, it's not something that I fully support. That's for sure. If you don't care about your privacy, it would be okay, I guess. Oh, Sarah. Hey, what's going on? My friend Sarah is here. How's it going? It does look really convenient. Listen, of course it does. They made it look convenient. It's not convenient. You're getting a chip put in you. And then here's the thing. You want to give your son or you want to give your daughter a couple bucks for cleaning the house? You want to give them $10? You can't do that anymore because you don't have cash anymore because everything's on your microchip. You know what I mean? You want to tip the pizza delivery guy $1 when he shows up, or $2, $3. You can't do that because everything's on a microchip. You know? You wanna pay someone $20 to shovel your driveway who shows up on a snowy day. You can't do that because you have a microchip. So you got to remember, there's drawbacks for everything. It seems convenient, but the devil's greatest trick is convincing the world that he didn't exist. Remember that. JM Bama, if you don't care about your privacy, it would be okay, I guess. You know, no, I disagree. No, that's not correct. Because they could possibly control you. Who knows what they could do on the other end? At what point does it grow legs and go to your brain? Exactly. You know, how much can they influence you by having this chip in your hands? You know what I mean? How much can they influence you? What can they do to you? Can they affect your blood? Can they affect your heart rate? I mean, shit, we have smart cars now, and there have been multiple people who have committed suicide, who had political enemies. You probably know who I'm talking about because there's a very long list of this person's political enemies who committed suicide. But they're smart cars. They lost control of them, and they sped up and drove into a tree, and these people died. And this is from having a smart car. So my opinion is, if you have a device in you and it could possibly be controlled, I would highly advise against people, you know, getting that technology put in you. I would highly advise against people buying into that type of society, buying into that way of thinking and that type of future, because, again, I'm all about the digital component. You know, I say I love my phone. I actually hate my phone, but I love the convenience of the internet in my pocket at all times. Remember being a kid and you'd forget something and you wouldn't know and you'd go for years of your life without remembering? You know, like, for instance, for some of my older friends in here, on Nickelodeon, there used to be a show with a kid who had a koala bear outside of his window, and the koala bear would eat eucalyptus leaves. For years of my life, I couldn't think of the name of that show, and I remember the show very vividly. And I remember David the Gnome, I remember Eureka's Castle, but I couldn't remember the name of that show. Wasn't until the age of the internet I found out the Koala Show, just so you know. Yvonne, A Brave New World by Huxley is often mischaracterized as a dystopia caused by tech. It's not. It's a book about a dystopia caused by government having the kind of control and misusing technology. Absolutely. I don't think tech is the problem. I think that the potential to misuse and abuse the technology is the problem. That's the issue. You know what I mean? Because, again, with phones, you know, the smartphone in your pocket and access to the internet is great, but knowing that it can be misused by, you know, spying on you, accessing your camera, accessing your microphone, accessing your messages, these are problems. These are issues that people have to ask themselves. It comes with a price, people. It comes with a price. And especially these chips, why do they want to do it? What do they have to gain? What is the advantage for someone else other than you? That's what you have to ask yourself. Why are we being told this is a good idea? Why should we do this? Why is this a thing that you're pushing on us? And usually the answer is the things that you're going to lose from making this change. Because they tell you why it's good. They tell you why you should embrace it. But what they don't tell you are the things that you're going to lose by embracing this. Which is very important. That's something that you need to think about each and every time you're willing to make a sacrifice. You would never make a sacrifice in your own life with your own property and your own home if you didn't understand what you were sacrificing. And with every single change, with every advancement comes a sacrifice. When cell phones became commonplace, what did we sacrifice? We sacrificed privacy and the fact that you can no longer just take off for long periods of time and no one has any communication with you. And you're also sacrificing your home phone because most people do not have a home phone and a cell phone. Most people have only a cell phone in this year of 2020. By the way, I am just putting my tray away if you're wondering what is slightly distracting me, but not really. Absolutely, though, everybody, I'm having a blast right now. We're still going strong. If anybody wants to provide anything we want to take a look at, somebody bring up a topic, we can watch a video, we can talk about it. We could talk about how people are being manipulated. If you guys want, I can suggest a video. I'd love to watch a PragerU video with you guys. If you guys want to see what I want to see, I did say today was quote-unquote dealer's choice. So let me know if you guys are interested in trying to learn something from potentially a college professor or an author or someone who is very knowledgeable from the guys at PragerU. They are a tremendous, tremendous utility in this day and age of 2020 where misinformation is the primary information and accurate information is the hidden information. The future is now, and this is happening to you in your real life. This is a life you are living in, people. You are living in this world. And I want to take a second while we're all living in this world together to ask you to like the BG from the bottom of the rabbit hole page. Give me a follow. JM Bama, Sarah, I am specifically calling you guys out because I can see on my end who is a follower and who is not. And you guys have not yet followed the BG from the bottom of the rabbit hole page. Also, please share this video. Let's get the interaction going, people. Let's get posts. What do you guys want to hear me talk about? What's on your mind? What's in the news today? Show me some news that I didn't know about it and we can look at it together. That's what I want to do. I want to learn about something right now like I did with Ahmaud Arbery. I want to learn about something for the first time while I'm talking to you guys so you can see my process of how I process information. And I want to hold you guys to that standard so we can all process information together the same way and not just accept the first thing that's given to you. This is what you need to learn how to do. You need to learn how to correctly process and diagnose information that's given to you. Very important. You know what I'll do real quick? I'll take a look. I did say I wanted to look up PragerU, so if I can find a great video, I did say it was dealer's choice. We'll take a look, and I'm going to see if anything interesting here that I want to talk to people about. Okay. 5-minute videos. Where are my 5-minute videos? You know what? Let's talk about man. 5-minute videos. Here we go. Found it. It was right at the top. Oh shit, I'm not doing this.
Like the
I'm looking through the list. Here we go. Ready? Boom.
We were just attacked. That's right. About 4 a.m., the printing press.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to watch a video, right? And this video here that I want to put on for you guys is called Why I Love America. Now, this is someone's opinion, but I did a video about this yesterday. And now that I have an opportunity to play a video from someone else and showcase their opinion, I absolutely want to take the opportunity to do this. And I'm going to right now with you guys in real time. Shrink me down. My boy. I approve of President Trump.
I am a third-generation American. My parents and my maternal grandmother were born in Brooklyn, New York. But I didn't know I loved America until my early 20s. In my third year of college, I studied in England and began a life of travel that eventually took me to 130 countries. That was when I began to understand how important America was to the world, and still is. That was when I began to understand how unique America was, and still is. That was when I began to appreciate the decency of the American people. Being away from America for a year, spending the Christmas season in Morocco where there was no Christmas season, and ending the year with a month in the Soviet Union where there was no freedom, this all had a life-changing impact on me. I realized how lucky I was to be an American. I even realized how much I simply enjoyed being an American. I'll explain. 1, how important America is to the world.
This man's a smart man.
Without in any way diminishing the enormous sacrifices made by England and France. It was America's entry into World War I that made the defeat of Imperial Germany possible and ended that horrible war. It was America that made the Allied victory possible in World War II and kept Western Europe free during the Cold War. 37,000 Americans died fighting the North Korean and Chinese communist regimes. Were it not for America, all of Korea would have no human rights and would endure the mass torture, starvation, and murder that have been routine in North Korea until today. The next time you hear the lie that America...
If anyone's disputing any of this information, put it in the comments. We'll address it.
America fought in Vietnam for colonialist reasons, ask that person what that have been routine in North Korea until today. The next time you hear the lie that America fought in Vietnam for colonialist reasons, ask that person, why did America fight in Korea? I'll tell you why. To stop the spread of communism, the greatest genocidal and totalitarian ideology in history, and thereby enable more than half of Korea to live in freedom. Another 58,000 Americans died in Vietnam to enable the South Vietnamese to live in the same freedom America made possible for South Koreans. Neither Vietnam nor Korea had any natural resources that America wanted. Americans died in those two countries solely so that their people could be free. And without diminishing the role of the great British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and the great Pope John Paul II, it was America that ended communism in the Soviet Union, Poland, East Germany, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Romania, and Bulgaria, and liberated, among other nations, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. 2, America is unique. America is the only country that was founded not on a race, ethnicity, or nationality, but on an idea. Limited government, because the founders of America believed first and foremost in liberty. America became the freest country in world history, which is why France gave the Statue of Liberty to one country, America. And America has given more liberty and opportunity to more people from more nations than any country in world history. Yes, America allowed slavery in half of its states.
That's it.
Every society in the world practiced slavery. What rendered America unique is that Americans killed one another in its bloodiest war to abolish slavery, and that it eventually became the least racist, multiracial country in history.
This is, again, you know how I feel about this. This is a fact here. Okay? We have the most different, the most diverse population anywhere. Okay? I just don't get how people cannot know this stuff. This is like stuff that most people, everyone should know. This is astounding me. It's only a 5-minute video. Excuse me. Bear with me. We're almost done. 6-minute video. 2 minutes left. We're almost there.
It remains the only white majority country to have ever elected a black leader. And Africans know how good America is, which is why by the 1980s, more black Africans had come to America voluntarily as immigrants seeking freedom and opportunity than ever came as slaves.
I want you to take a look at that. More black Africans have come to America voluntarily as immigrants seeking freedom and opportunity than ever came here as slaves. And why do they keep coming? Because this country is great.
3, Americans are decent people.
This
Ask
is what I say all the
visitors
time.
what they think of Americans. They're likely to tell you how friendly Americans are. There are mean and bad Americans,
Of course.
and there are kind and good people in every country. But having traveled abroad every year of my life since college, and to all 50 American states, and being sensitive to people's goodness and happiness, I have been continually amazed at the essential decency of most Americans. I fell in love with America at the age of 20, and given the freedom, the opportunities, and the religious tolerance I have experienced,
He's Jewish.
I realize all these years later that America has loved me too. I'm Dennis Prager. This video was made possible by a generous grant from Colorado Christian University. PragerU subscribers may be eligible for a $1,000
Here we go. So
scholarship
take a look.
for courses taken through CCU Online.
But see, I mean, that's just an example of the great stuff you're going to find on PragerU. And again, this country is a great country. These are people who are, you know, much smarter than I. I shouldn't say much smarter than I should say much more knowledgeable than myself. Absolutely. It's not taught in schools, Yvonne. You are absolutely right. And that's the very problem. That's the very problem. But that's because the schools were hijacked by the left in the early 1960s. And all the textbooks were wiped out and replaced with propaganda to teach us, to slowly breed us to hate our country. That's what ideological subversion is. Oh my God. Do we want to start watching videos on ideological subversion and talking about it? Oh, my heart is beating. I'm getting excited. People, if you want to see the ideological subversion, reply in the comments. Tell me you do. Call it IS. Call it whatever you want. Play the videos. Oh my God, I love talking about ideological subversion because it's what's going on right now. It's what's happening to people. Let's hear if you guys want to talk about it. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and comment on some of these comments. I want to get to them. Oh shit, yeah, am to following. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Sarah, very much. Sarah, you're a beast. I appreciate it. Yvonne, how about Biden's recent move further towards the left? Is it a winning strategy? No. No, it's not. You know what would be a winning strategy for him? Coherence, less sniffing, less raping, and more coherence. And hell, love America. I know he said he tried to add a little bit of, pouring money into America. Because again, America doesn't need the government to be successful. America is successful in spite of the government. You must understand this. Just like you just witnessed, this country was created on the principle, which I went over yesterday, of limited government. Our forefathers got in a room and said, how do we make sure that the government never can become, tyrannical over the people ever again? How do we make this happen? The Constitution was the blueprint for that. Some of the amendments were amazing. Freed the slaves, give everyone the right to vote. Some of them were ridiculous, establishing the Federal Reserve. But that isn't even really an amendment constitution. That's the Federal Banking Act of 1913. And I could do a whole video on that myself because I do love talking about the Fed. This is a great video. Absolutely right. I love PragerU. Georgia Guidestones, thank you very much. Justin Just JM Bama for the share of the Wikipedia page there. Everyone can check it out. This is not taught in schools. Very poignant. Whoop, do it. I like it. I'm going to do it, and we're going to talk about ideological subversion as soon as we take a look at Rami's video. And here's the best part. We're going to watch Rami's video blind. I have no idea what it is. So if he's setting us up for something right now...
Are you tired of the media spinning the truth?
We are about to find out.
narratives?
Okay. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1...
must go to school in the district where you live. And this is also why a lot of people have left lower income areas and moved out to higher income areas specifically for better...
I think he tried to...
Interesting arguments, and I thought it's worthwhile going through them.
Let's listen to good old Benjamin.
Okay, so there's a video that is going around on
I've
Facebook
seen
and
this.
on YouTube. It's from Act TV called Systemic Racism Explained. Makes some interesting arguments, and I thought it's worthwhile going.
He's going to do what I'm trying to do to videos. So because he's doing what I'm doing, I'm not going to do it to him. I'm going to let him explain this, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Because if I'm going to analyze his analysis of a video, we're getting off track here. So let's watch him analyze this video, and let's talk about his analysis of the video by the end.
Through them a little bit. So we're going to play the video. We'll stop it.
Whoa!
This video is
We might not watch this whole
Venom
video,
Brothers'
though. It's
brand new
16
course,
minutes
expert
long.
owner-
If you guys want to watch a 16-minute long video, say let's play it. If you don't want to watch it, then we won't watch it. All right, here we go. Let's do it.
You can learn to own a business without it owning you.
Shit.
Stick around to the end of the video to find out more details.
This is Jamal. Jamal is a boy who lives in a poor neighborhood. He has a friend named Kevin who lives in a wealthy
All right, I
neighborhood.
can now see the
All of
comments
Jamal's
in the video
neighbors
at the
are
same time.
African-American, and all of Kevin's neighbors are white. Because Jamal's school district is mostly funded by property taxes, his school is not very well funded. His classrooms are overcrowded, his teachers are underpaid, and he doesn't have access to high-quality tutors or extracurricular activities. Kevin's school district is also funded by property taxes, so his school is very well funded. His classrooms are never crowded, his teachers are very well paid, and he has access to high-quality tutors and lots of extracurricular activities.
So let's talk for a second about school policy. The reality is that if you wanted Jamal to be able to go to Kevin's school, what you'd want is something called school vouchers. You want people to be able to move away from their school district. One of the chief reasons that Jamal is confined to his local public school is because of Democratic policy that has decided that you must go to school in the district where you live. And this is also why a lot of people have left lower income areas and moved out to higher income areas specifically for better public schools. So if you want Jamal to have the same educational opportunities as Kevin, perhaps you should have school vouchers for private schools, or perhaps you should have charter schools, which is what Mayor Bill de Blasio in New York is fighting against, or perhaps you should break the teachers' unions, which are costing a fortune, particularly on a disproportionate level in areas where they're not spending enough taxpayer dollars. So I'm all for improving Jamal's schools. I'm also all for Jamal having all the same educational opportunities as Kevin. The problem is most Democrats are not.
Kevin and Jamal live only a few streets away from each other. So how come they're growing up in such different worlds with such
This is
different
where it gets
opportunities
interesting.
for success? The answer has to do with America's history of systemic racism. To understand it better, let's look at what life was like for Kevin and Jamal's grandparents.
In order to understand what's going to happen in this video, you have to understand how systemic racism is being defined. Systemic racism is a really amorphous term. It could mean many things. It could mean that the institutions of today are racist, in which case everyone would oppose them. Or it could mean that all inequality is explainable by racism, which of course is not sustainable.
That's my
It's not a good
biggest
argument.
thing
The argument that this video is going to try to make is that all of history has meaning. And that is true. History does have consequences for today. The problem is, as we'll see, the video tries to explain all inequality with reliance on history and no inequality with response to exacerbating levels of income inequality, exacerbating levels of single motherhood, personal decision-making, or any of the other variables that could come into creating the gaps we see today.
Decades after the Civil War, many government agencies started to draw maps dividing cities into sections that were either desirable or undesirable for investment. This practice was called redlining, and it usually blocked off entire black neighborhoods from access to private and public investment. Banks and insurance companies used these maps for decades to deny black people loans and other services based purely on race. Historically speaking, owning a home and getting a college education is the easiest way for an American family to build wealth. But when Jamal's grandparents wanted to buy a house, the banks refused because they lived in a neighborhood that was redlined. So Jamal's grandparents were not able to buy a home, and because colleges could prevent them from attending through legal segregation, their options for higher education were really scarce.
So let's talk about redlining. Redlining became illegal in the United States as early as 1968. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act was followed by the Home Mortgage Disclosure.
For the record, want to shout out a couple comments. Sarah, yay Ben Shapiro. Absolutely, I like Ben Shapiro as well. Rami just got a few minutes in. I thank you for that. You skipped the ad. Sarah, I've actually seen this. It's pretty good. I've seen this as well. Clark the Third Clark. How's it going, man? Welcome to the page. First time seeing you in here. Glad to comment. Chuck Woolery, I'm all about it. Love Connection. It is Wildcard Wednesday. My boy Ryan Pitts. Ben, yes, we were talking about Ben Shapiro yesterday. So we'll let Ben talk a little bit more. I just wanted to give everyone a shout out, and I'm going to let him get back to his point.
Redlining. Redlining became illegal in the United States as early as 1968. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act was followed by the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act of 1975, which was a predecessor to the Community Reinvestment Act, both of which were an attempt to ensure that people who are living in low-income minority neighborhoods could actually get loans. And these things were very effective. In 1992, researchers at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston tried to look at the data. They collected information on some 30 variables related to lending decisions. They found that virtually all of the difference between minority and non-minority denial rates was explained by those variables. A reanalysis of that information found that black-owned banks were actually lending to white-owned businesses at higher rates than they were lending to black-owned businesses. Furthermore, if it seemed that banks were discriminating against black borrowers on the basis of they needed to have higher credit qualifications, what you would see is lower default rates from black clients of banks, from people who are borrowing money from banks in the black community. There are zero studies that show any of this. So the bottom line is this. Redlining was an evil and awful policy. It was made illegal in the 1960s. By the 1980s, the banks were not lending at disproportionate rates. In fact, if you look at among different communities, as Thomas Sowell has pointed out, Asian Americans get loans more easily than white Americans. That does not mean the banks are being racist toward white Americans on behalf of Asian Americans. When it comes to college education, it is also worth noting that, yes, there were many universities that were segregated. There were many universities that did not allow black people to attend. Since the 1970s, the most prominent measure that has been used in order to admit black students to major universities across the country has been affirmative action, which actively discriminates against people who are not black in favor of black applicants, specifically by ensuring that black applicants don't have to have the same test scores or GPAs in order to get into those same schools. So not only has policy been corrected, it's been overcorrected in these areas.
Kevin's grandparents, on the other hand, got a low-interest loan to buy their first house and got accepted into a handful of top universities, which traditionally only accepted white students. This opened up a wealth of opportunities that they were able to pass on to their kids and grandkids.
The basic assumption of this video is that if your grandparents are rich in the United States, this means that you are rich in the United States. And then if your grandparents are poor in the United States, that means that you are poor in the United States. This is factually untrue. The reality is that income changes over time, that there are an enormous number of people in the United States by percentage who are able to rise from poor to middle class and their children from middle class to wealthy. The biggest problem that we have in the United States right now is not a historic wealth gap. The biggest problem we have is an income gap in the United States. And there's some fascinating statistics surrounding this. There was a Harvard study recently that showed that black males who are growing up in the same household incomes as white males were actually underperforming their white male counterparts even in high-income neighborhoods. You would think that all of this might imply racism, except for one inconvenient fact in the study. Black women who are growing up in the same high-income neighborhoods as white women growing up in the same high-income neighborhoods, black women were performing at exactly the same or higher rates than white women in those neighborhoods, which would suggest that there are other factors at play other than simple racism. Furthermore, the basic idea that most wealth in the United States is inherited and that millionaires are really only millionaires because their parents were millionaires, that really isn't true either. The vast majority of millionaires and billionaires are people whose parents were not millionaires and billionaires. Chris Hogan, who's a black financial expert, he did a survey of 10,000 people, and what he found was that of those 10,000 people, 74% of millennials believed millionaires inherited their money, 52% of baby boomers did, but only 21% of millionaires received any inheritance at all. Just 16% inherited more than $100,000. Only 3% received an inheritance at or above $1 million. In reality, the best path toward wealth in this country is income mobility, not inherited wealth.
This opened up a wealth of opportunities that they were able to pass on to their kids and grandkids. Even as late as the 1980s, an investigation into the Atlanta real estate market showed that banks were more willing to lend to low-income white families than to middle or upper-income African-American families. As a result, today, for every $100 of wealth held by a white family, black families have $5.04. A 2017 study confirms that redlining is still affecting home values in major cities like Chicago today. This explains how Kevin and Jamal inherited vastly different circumstances.
As it turns out, there are some complicating factors that don't get cited in this video with regard to this data. The Federal Reserve Board economists tried to explain that this data did not take account of differences that were not income-based, things like liabilities, employment history, credit record, and other relevant variables that should have been considered. It should not be particularly surprising that discrimination in the past has impact on the actual income of people who are living in the areas that were denied loans. That shouldn't be a major surprise. But that is not the only disparity, obviously. That New York Times piece they are citing says, quote, they estimate the maps account for 15 to 30% of the overall gaps in segregation and home ownership that they find between the highest risk area and the second highest risk areas. Those were the ones that were being classified. The truth is that when it comes to redlining, you have to look at the gradations as well. There is always going to be a difference in the availability of loans to people who are living in the highest risk areas as opposed to the people who are in the very lowest risk areas. Another factor is that if history does make a difference, then if you are denied loans in a particular area, and if there's less money in those areas, and as crime goes up, and as property taxes kick in, there's not enough money to take, and as schools get worse, obviously that's going to continue to have effects in that particular area. That doesn't mean the same people are living in that area who always lived in that area, or the people who grew up in that area in 1960 necessarily have to live in that area, or that their grandkids have to live in that area in 2020.
Unfortunately, the story doesn't end there. A big part of systemic racism is implicit bias. These are prejudices in society that people are not aware that they have.
One of the big problems with implicit bias, it is very, very difficult to quantify, identify, and studies that supposedly determine that your implicit bias results in real-world action are deeply flawed. Implicit bias assessment tests, for example, are so significantly flawed they are virtually unusable.
Let's go back to Kevin and Jamal. Again,
real quick, before we get to Kevin and Jamal, I just want to take a second to ask everyone who hasn't to like and share the video, like and follow the page, BG from the Bottom of the Rabbit Hole. If you guys are enjoying this video, I can't see your hearts. I can't see your smiley faces. I can't see your angry faces, unfortunately. But what I can see is if you guys make a comment. So if you're liking the video, fantastic. If you guys want to watch something else, take it a different direction, make a recommendation, drop a link, drop a news article, start a topic. It's Wildcard Wednesday, baby, and you guys are the dealers. So let's hear it. But right now, let's get back to Ben and Jamal and whatever the other kid's name was.
Against all odds, Jamal manages to be the only student from his high school to get accepted into a great university, the same one that Kevin and his high school friends are attending. But after Kevin and Jamal both graduate, Jamal notices that his resume isn't drawing as much interest as Kevin's, even though they graduated from the same program with the exact same GPA. Unfortunately for Jamal, studies show that resumes with white-sounding names get twice as many callbacks as identical resumes with black-sounding names.
The research is actually a lot more interesting than what is being portrayed in this video. There are several studies here. There was one famous study that was done that suggested that first name differentiation was indeed being used by employers. So if your name was Lakeisha, for example, this is the name that is actually used in the study, Lakeisha versus Greg, that you are less likely to get a callback. There was another study that showed a historically black last name, like
after
Washington
Ben, we'll
or
throw
Jefferson,
on Wayfair and Amazon stuff. Maybe I don't even know about Amazon, but we'll throw on some Wayfair.
White names, like Greenberg, for example. So if your name was Steve Greenberg versus Steve Jefferson, you were just as likely to get a callback as Steve Jefferson. What that suggests, and this was confirmed by subsequent studies, is that the actual issue here is a question of class discrimination, not an issue of race discrimination. In other words, the reason that people are discriminating against Lakeisha as opposed to against Steve Johnson or Steve Washington is because people are actually using the first name as a stand-in for social class. They are figuring that if you were named Lakeisha, it's because you probably came from a more impoverished background. Now, this is not restricted to the black community. This happens in the Jewish community as well. If you get an applicant and the applicant's name is Ben, you might treat that applicant different than if that person's name is Benjamin. You might treat a Menachem different than you treat a Mike. And that is because you are trying to read into the person your perceptions of culture or perceptions of class, not really perceptions of race. That's really, really important when you look at these particular studies and suggest that racial discrimination rather than class distinctions are at the basis of whatever hiring discrimination is happening here.
Implicit bias is one of the reasons why the black unemployment rate is twice the rate of white unemployment.
Well, this tends to neglect one key factor. What did you major in? What did you study? It turns out that people who major in education aren't going to do as well as people who major in engineering. According to research from the Center on Education and the Workforce at Georgetown University, this is a quote from PBS, African-American college students are more likely to pursue majors that lead to low-paying jobs, setting up many for future debt and underemployment. Over time, these occupational choices contribute to the wealth and opportunity gap between whites and blacks that spans generations. Anthony Carnival, who's the director of the program, says basically African-Americans have been going to the right church but sitting in the wrong pew. In a way, they are using education to climb the social and economic ladder, but they're being steered toward majors that will make them low earners. So, in other words, there are several confounding factors that are not being taken into account in this video. 1, what college did you go to? 2, what did you major in? And 3, what kind of job did you get afterward?
You can see evidence of systemic racism in every area of life. The disparities in family wealth, incarceration rates, political representation, and education are all examples of systemic racism.
Now we reach the crux of the matter. The basic idea here is that any inequality can be chalked up to systemic racism. We are now ghost hunting. Notice, they've said nothing in this video about incarceration. Nothing. about incarceration. The simple assumption is that if more black people percentage-wise are arrested than white people, that must be due to systemic racism and not due to the number of crimes being committed by individuals who make a decision to commit a crime. When it comes to representation, the truth is there are many, many black Americans in Congress. We've had a black president of the United States. People choosing to run and people choosing to vote, that is an aspect of American freedom. And when it comes to education, there are plenty of affirmative action programs that exist at virtually every major university. In fact, there are entire university systems like the University of California that have gotten rid of the SAT and the ACT as admissions criteria specifically because they weren't allowing enough minority students to attend. So to attribute all inequality to systemic racism is simply to say that everything you don't like must be due to systemic racism.
Unfortunately, the biggest challenge with systemic racism is that there's no single person or entity responsible for it, which makes it very hard to solve. So what can you do? The first thing you can do is work towards becoming more aware of your own implicit biases.
We should always, as decent people, be re-examining our own biases and trying to wipe out bad thoughts we may be having about other people. But the idea that something as vague as you had a bad thought about a group is now responsible for the income inequality between black and white is sort of an absurd contention in the absence of any available evidence.
What are some prejudices that you might hold that you're not aware of? Second, let's acknowledge that the consequences of slavery and Jim Crow laws are still affecting access to opportunity today.
It is certainly plausible that slavery and Jim Crow have affected how people's paths have gone in life and the circumstances of their birth. But the question is, how much? If we are going to change policy, and if we are going to effectuate change, shouldn't we be focused more on what are the bad policies today that specifically are keeping people down, and what behaviors can we change today to make our opportunities better, rather than focusing in on slavery or Jim Crow? The fact is that even if you buy into the entire narrative of systemic racism promoted by this video, it changes nothing, and the video is even acknowledging as much.
As a result, we should support systemic changes that create more equal opportunities for everyone. Increasing public school funding and making it independent from property taxes would be a great start, so that poor and wealthy districts can receive equal access to resources.
The suggestion that simply pouring money into public schools is somehow going to be the solution has been belied by nearly every independent study ever done of public education. Obviously, we should be spending more on schools where not enough spending is going on, where there aren't school books or there aren't enough desks. But the real problem that's existing in educational performance has very little to do with income and a lot more to do with the access to educational opportunity provided in homes. If you have a single family home, it is very difficult for mom to be able to help with homework. If you don't allow kids to go to better schools outside their neighborhood, rather than simply pouring money into failed neighborhood schools, then you're not really granting opportunity.
Systemic problems require systemic solutions. Luckily, we're all part of the system, which means that we all have a role to play in making it better. Peace.
It's easy enough to say that we all have a role in making the system better, but when you suggest very few practical solutions other than rote democratic policies that have been failed nearly every time they've tried, it makes it difficult to believe this isn't just a political ploy, rather than an argument in favor of bettering individual human lives. To deny the effects of history would be idiotic. History obviously has consequences. And to deny that racism exists would be similarly idiotic. But to attribute every problem in American life to racism or inequity is to be foolish and counterproductive and not to make the world a better place. For more on a lot of these topics, go check out my brand new book, How to Destroy America in 3 Easy Steps, all about the attempt to divide Americans by suggesting that American philosophy, culture, and history are responsible for all wrongs in the modern world. Go check out that book. It's available everywhere. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. We really appreciate it. And check out my show, The Ben Shapiro Show. Now, there are a lot of folks who reach the pinnacle of business life, and they are just as miserable as they ever were. It doesn't have to be that way. You should be able to own your business without it owning you. And this is why I want to tell you about my friends, the Benin Brothers.
Okay, so I messed up there. But, Ben Shapiro is a beast. I got to say, when it comes to Ben Shapiro, the big thing with him where I differ a bit is in the fact that... Is the fact that, he is a savage, obviously, and he remembers details of things and is a phenom. But Ben Shapiro will not come out here and talk about, the Wayfair pedophile situation. Ben Shapiro will not call Tony Podesta a pedophile. And I'm not saying this because Hollywood pedos were brought up. Robert Giarrusso, smiley face, right back to you, brother. I saw it a while ago when we were watching Wayfair and Amazon, JM Bama, talk about the Hollywood pedos. It seems like people love the pedophile talk for some reason. Oh my God, what happened? Are you guys losing me? I'm having issues with the stream. If you guys are getting stuttering, let me know. Because I'm seeing stuttering on my end. I'm doing a refresh. Hold on.
Just with the stream.
All right, perfect. All right. So, yeah, we're back. But needs to be put out there. 100%, though. It's the truth. In Hollywood, listen, ask yourself this question. I always love to say ask why. Why is it that childhood stars always grow up so fucked up? Why is it that you see people like Charlie Sheen having all these different problems, all the drug abuse in Hollywood and all this other shit? Yeah, I get it. Like, rich people like to party. But ask yourself this question. What else do rich people do that they're not supposed to do? What else do rich people think is something that they would want if they could do anything and they had all the money in the world? Ask yourself this question. You know what I mean? Is it really that ridiculous to think that these people cannot all be sick fucks? You know what I mean? And it's beyond even just pedophiles, because it's like these people are like, this is like, they're evil people. This is fucking, they're Satanists. They're doing sacrifices. You know, I talked yesterday about going to see a movie that was made by Alex Jones many years ago in the movie theater in Providence at a special event, and it's called Inside Bohemian Grove. And it was from a secret meeting that used to take place in the woods in California, and Alex Jones snuck in with a camera, and they do a fucking ceremony with a seance where they sacrifice a baby to a giant owl in the woods. Like, and they said it was a mock sacrifice, but like, knowing what you know about these people, why would you even do a mock sacrifice? Like, let's be honest. Like, what's the purpose of the ceremony? He's got the whole thing on camera. You hear the words, the chants. You can actually hear the words of the people doing the ceremony. Like, if you haven't seen Inside Bohemian Grove, maybe one day we'll do a full watch through of that and I'll play it as a movie and we'll just watch Bohemian Grove on Facebook. I don't know if I can get away with that shit, but we'll run until the wheels fall off. But I like doing this with like news articles and different things that people share because I don't have to worry about copyright strikes. But I don't think Alex Jones is copywriting people. I think he likes his shit shared. So I would do that one day if you guys wanted to see that. All right, good. You guys, everyone's telling me I'm good. Let me get back to the comments for a sec. Needs to be put out there. Dave, you're absolutely right. Sarah Lynn, no stutter. Still good here. You're good. Wayfair's newest I've heard. Yeah, $40,000 cabinets. This shit is crazy. And I'll be honest, I haven't even looked into it that much because it doesn't surprise me. It's not like it's something where it's like, I'm astounded by this and like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is really happening, because I've seen so much shit like this in the past that this is not something new. Like, for instance, right around the time Pizzagate broke, and I think I told this story, they were selling on eBay. There was an eBay account, and the email address and the IP was traced to some crazy little island where, like, there was a couple of barrels and a few things. They had, like, satellite pictures and drone pictures, and it was a fucked up little island, and they were selling broken hard drives. Look this up on DuckDuckGo.com. You know what? Maybe we'll look it up together. Maybe that's what we can do right now. We'll look up. Ready? Oh, you'll love this. This will be great. I'm actually so excited for this. Oh, no, wait. So this, we're going to do it this way. So, yeah, we'll do it this way. And then we'll do it this way. And then we'll do it. Oh, no, wait. Wrong thing. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Hold on. We're working on this. This is a new technology. So let me ask you this while I'm making these changes, guys. Seriously. So, how do you like this? Is this format better than it's been? Do you prefer me being able to use videos and use the internet to talk about things? Or did you like it better when it was just me ranting and raving? Tell me about the new format. I'm trying to be more user-friendly, and I'm trying to interact with the comments more than I had been, which, by the way, Yvonne, our society is self-destructive in more ways than one. 100%. 100%, man. And it's, dude, it's, love it better. Okay, definitely love it better. I like to hear that. Tell me what you think of the new format. If you really love it, share it. If you haven't shared it already, make sure you're you followed the you gave a like and a follow to the BG from the bottom of the rabbit hole page. All right, so you guys are looking at what's going on here. So what do I have? We need a new page. We'll go to. I'm going to show you why to use DuckDuckGo. Okay, this is why you use DuckDuckGo. This is what happens on Google if you do this. For missing Pizzagate broken. None of this, right? Okay, now search DuckDuckGo for this. See, but I'm not getting. I saw it on a. It was broken down on a. Oh, here we go. All right, we're gonna do it this way. Must contain the word Pizzagate because that's when this happened. Could this be the Pizzagate smoking gun? Advanced lesson. All right. Huh. Although I am aware of what this website is because I have had people share this website with me before. Okay, ready? This needs to be buried, but who? Ready? Okay, they're using older people's clandestine search for a catalog of images. They're a fair place. Even if you want a CP customer. I was related to Pizzagate trolls. Anything to Pizzagate? Read these 5-star reviews. Here we go. No, this is just people flagrantly ordering child pornography. No, so this is entirely different. That's trying to tie something else to it that's not. Well, I'm having a tough time finding it, but I promise you it happened. And if I had time to do the research on my own and I wasn't here with you guys, I would do the research and I would find it. But you saw immediately how you're actually getting different shit on this. Even though there's still, I didn't find anything that I wanted. So I really can't. It's not a fair comparison to try to compare that to this. Hold on. Let's go back to the way we were. Actually, let me just check out what you guys want to do here. I like it now for sure. Love it better. Okay. So you know what? You guys want to talk about the pedophiles? All right. So let's see what we can find here using some of this shit. Let's look at this. Okay. Let's go to Podesta email. So Podesta email. Hot tub entertainment. My secret's out. I type very slow. And that's why you know when I'm making those posts I'm using. Here we go. All right, so we're just going to search WikiLeaks so we don't have to get a bullshit review of what's going on. This is probably the one. Farmers Update and welcome, Matt. Okay, now this is a real email. I want to show, let's make sure it's the email in question first. Oh, yep, here it is. Okay. So this is a chain email here, okay? You can see there's a lot of CCs, okay? Ruth Marcus. These are all people, and this came, John Podesta, which is how this email was obtained. This was found in his email, okay? Now, I want you to see this. This is, you have to understand, before I highlight these words and I point this out, there is zero debate on whether or not these are real emails, okay? Even the other side does not debate that these are 100% legitimate. You must understand this. I cannot emphasize this enough, okay? There's a lot of stuff in here that you're like, maybe not. This one's this. This is not question the validity that these are real. Word for word, note for note, every punctuation mark is accurate. Understand this. Let's read this email. With enormous gratitude to Advanced Man Extraordinaire Harbor, I am popping up again to share our excitement about the reprise of our gang's visit to the farm in Lottsville. And I thought I'd share a couple more notes. We plan to heat the pool so a swim is a possibility. Bonnie will be Uber service transport to Ruby Emerson, and Mavie Lozado, 11, 9, and almost 7. So you'll have some further entertainment. What's going on here? And they will be in that pool for sure. And with the forecast showing prospects of some sun and a cooler temp of lower 60s, I suggest you bring your sweaters or of whatever and attire to enable us to use our outdoor table with the pergola overhead. A gazebo, basically. I didn't know what that was. So we all dine. So we dine al fresco and not ideally al chillo. They're trying to be silly. But I want you to understand that this wasn't really instigated by anything. Tamara Lozado, Senior Vice President. Okay. Hooray, forgot Drew last time, as in also. See y'all on Saturday or 1 when you arrive. Thanks for remembering me. I was planning to use the farm as a backdrop to announce my candidacy for Speaker of the House. Might as well live. I'll live blog it. Now, she used to have a blog, which she had pictures of her kids, and I've seen the pictures. We can try to look for them. There's a URL here, which I doubt is still up. But I don't even know if I want to search it. But I will try to look up Ruby Emerson and Maeve Lovato to see what I saw and be like. Now, you must understand, again, before I even... Oh, wait, no. Search DuckDuckGo. So I'm going to go take a look if there's any comments. Hold on, you guys. You're going to see me do it in real time. No comments. Astounded people. Astounded people. If you have anything that you want to say, if you're still following, follow along as I take a look at this. Okay, so we were on WikiLeaks. Okay, this is the official WikiLeaks.org Podesta emails. This is real. No one debates this. This has only been referred to as a stolen email and not a fake email. You must understand what I'm telling you is true. You can look it up for yourself. There is no one... If they do discredit WikiLeaks, I promise you it's a lie. Because WikiLeaks has had a 100% success rate. So here's the email. Here's a picture. That's the woman, the mother. That's Tamara. We'll Google her name as well. She's the name I actually want. Proprietor of Evie's Crib. This is still up. Pedogate World. Oh, okay. That picture was what I saw. There's those kids she was talking about. Right? John Rockefeller. Okay? Senator John Rockefeller. So here's where her ties come in. And I could be reading this, but I'm trying to look for the information that I want. Evie's Crib. This is what was so fucked up. And then we can come back and take a look at this. I just want to emphasize too before I read this, and this is such a fucked up thing, but I just want to emphasize with you guys, I am so happy that you are all joining me here today, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and tell you how this literally is unbelievably amazing to me to be able to have anybody actually listen, especially people who didn't understand that this stuff is out there, be able to allow me to show you these things and to be able to explain to you that there is evil in this world that is so bad. And it's not police brutality and racism, people. I promise you. The police are here to protect you from people like this. The police are here to make sure... Hear me out. Thank you all, seriously. With enormous gratitude, this is the email. This is the Evie's Crib website, okay? I remember seeing this, I believe it was either up or it might have been this picture. Evelyn is growing up soon. She will be the queen of the entire US of A. Right now, for a limited time only, you can spend some time with her online, raw and uncut. Take advantage of this now, as in the future, she will have the power of life and death over you. She's their grandmother. What the fuck? Here's the text. That's what I just read off of the page. This is an archive of the website. This is here. I'm looking at this. This is the name of the website. Remember she said in the thing, I'll blog it? See this date? This is when we discovered it. I was on the Donald at this point as this stuff was being turned up. This page right here was actually taken and archived by someone from the Donald that day, okay? This existed that day. I clicked on this link and saw this, okay? This is, and look, 2 days before the election, okay? Came down right after this was discovered. But this one thing goes back to 2009. There's not really too much more other than, but this is fucking insane, right? Fucking insane. And here's what she wrote, and I can't even see it. It'll be on this page. Jack is owned by Ken Weber and Steph Copeland, who live a few blocks from us. Marissa works with Ken at 1, so it's all neat and tidy. Evie doesn't know yet, but she's looking forward to many visits to the farm with cousins Ruby, Emmy, and Mavie. Okay? This is unbelievable. This is fucking insane. And you could take a look at this for yourself. You can see the URL here. You can use DuckDuckGo to find it yourself. I just found it in front of you. I'm teaching you guys how to do research. I'm teaching you guys what to look for. WikiLeaks was the emails. You look up the person's name, a suspected person. You find things like this. You find things like pedogate.world, which is going to have a bunch of information. If I go to home, it's going to allow you to go to Pedocrats. You get to see everybody's basic rap sheet here. All these people, all the information on them. You talked about Hollywood pedophiles. You got Robert De Niro. You know, I don't even know who Cliff Richards is. James Alefantis from Comet Ping Pong Pizza. I was talking about him yesterday. Maxwell, she's in custody right now. I'm sure we all want to know about Maxwell. Her and all the pictures with these people. Prince Edward. I mean, it's... or whoever that is. I believe it's Prince Edward. This stuff is here, people. And again, I mean, we can look at this. We can read this. But like I said, my goal isn't to read this stuff for you. Here's my thing, what I'm working with. Here's Jamie sending me something. OG conspiracy theorists. People that got their first conspiracy rabbit hole via Wayfair. That's awesome. I hope you guys were able to see that. I hope you guys are able to see this. This is what I'm working with. It's a bit confusing. But I'm going to go back and check on you guys, which is why I left that in the first place. What's going on? Love it better. I like it now for sure. So you guys got any comments on what's going on here? What you're seeing? Are you seeing this? Did you know about this? How do you feel about this? Do you want to share this with people on your page and try to educate people on what to do and how to look this stuff up and what they need to be searching and the information that they're going to find? With that being said, guys, I had a great time. Today is Wildcard Wednesday. I'm actually going to wrap it up soon because one thing, if you guys know about me, I love my pro wrestling. And tonight is AEW, and I need time to go see my lovely fiance and give her hugs and kisses and eat some dinner. But I'm very glad I was able to share this new format with you guys. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm thrilled that this worked out as good as it did. I hope you guys all like the page. BG from the bottom of the rabbit hole. And I guess, should we do it one more time, guys? You want to go live at 5 one more time tomorrow? Maybe we'll go live at 5 one more time tomorrow. And now that I have a video, we'll figure something out and we'll figure out what we're going to talk about now that we can play videos and we can, you know, do a little bit more. So I'm very happy about that. Be safe, you guys. I'm going to be signing out. I want to genuinely say that I appreciate everyone for joining in today. I appreciate everyone for liking, commenting, sharing.
You're not a dish.
Oh, no.
You're a man.
There we go. Okay. Back to where it needs to be, of just me in the corner. And I'm going to say goodbye to everybody properly. I want to thank you again, everybody. I can't see all 7 names in here, but I can see everybody that's commented. I'm super happy. Next time we can look up 9/11. Are you on Twitter? You don't even want to look up my Twitter because I don't tweet. No, I'm not really on Twitter. I have a Twitter for following people. But I mostly just post links to this stream. So, but no, everything that I do is on Facebook. If I'm sharing information, if I'm communicating with people, I'm doing it on Facebook. Because like I said, I'm not here to make any money. You're not seeing any donation links. You didn't see any advertisements. I don't have any sponsors. I'm only here because I'm trying to affect people that I care about. I want people who don't understand what goes on through my head and why I think the way I do and why I have the opinions that I have and why I have the outlook on the world that I have. I need you guys to understand the knowledge that I have because then we will relate more. This is very important. Did you like the video I posted the link earlier? I'm at work, so I had to bail. We loved the video that you posted. You need to go back and watch me watching it because I broke it down. I used it as a piece of evidence to talk about propaganda and how they frame things and how they use news reports to manipulate how you think. I need you guys to be able to see these things. I need you guys to be able to understand. You have to be able to do it for yourselves. You have to be able to teach your children and your friends. These are important techniques. These are things that everyone should know. They should teach you this shit in school, but they don't. You have to learn it yourself. You have to learn it by trial and error. You have to just analyze things. You have to look things up. You have to research. People have to tell you, how would you know about DuckDuckGo? They don't want you to know about it. It's tough. You need someone to tell you. That's the actual truth of it. I'm just realizing this now. You need someone to tell you these things because you're not going to learn about it anywhere else. You need people like me to speak about it. You guys need to do your own research, and you need to speak to your people. Use this as inspiration. The more people, if everyone did what I'm just a dude in my room. If everyone did what I'm doing right now, every one of you, there's 7 people watching me right now. If you guys all had 7 people watching you, this is this many more people that are learning about this, and people are talking about it. It's normalizing the conversation. It's normalizing the conversation. We have to make people talk about this. Everyone has to know that everyone else knows about it, and everyone has to talk about it, and people need to research and understand that it's not a lie. Oh, it's not only crazy people think like this. This is not reality. It's that simple. It's that simple, people. So, I love all you guys. Thank you so much. You guys should watch. I use it. DuckDuckGo. See? JM Bama knows about it. 9/11. I really like the idea of talking about 9/11 tomorrow. I really like that a lot. Only because we could show the video of them talking about how Building 7 fell before it fell. And it didn't get hit by a plane. It was a demolition. So they announced it about 20 to 30 minutes before it fell. And there is video evidence that this happened. And it is out there, and we can watch it tomorrow. I think that's a great idea. So tomorrow might be 9/11 day. So even though I'm definitely going to, if I'm still doing this by September, I am definitely having a whole day to 9/11 on 9/11 and talking about 9/11 truth. Because that's how this whole journey started for me, is questioning 9/11. And then you question everything, and then you look into people, and you see the things that they're talking about, and you read more and you learn more, and next thing you know, you have to make videos on Facebook to tell people about it because it's just too much. And I love how people are joining in now. The group is getting larger. Is it because I'm talking again? Do you guys like me better? You guys like the videos better? I'm trying to educate. What's the most effective way to get a message across to people that are listening? You know, that's, you guys need to let me know. Let me know in the comments. Go on my page. Go on my personal page. Go on this page. Leave a post on this page, on the BG from the Rabbit Hole. Interact. Tell me what you think. Start conversation. You know what I mean? Start conversation. I want to know. I'm trying, like, I'm just trying to wake people up, man. I don't want to live in a world where this shit is just going on and nobody fucking is doing anything about it. And the only thing, like, it's without this avenue to talk to you guys right now, I feel so powerless. I feel so powerless. You know what I mean? Oh man, Ryan Pitch just got here. I might just stay on. Should I just stay on? What do you guys want to do? Talking together. I like that. Talking together. That's what people need to do. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm talking. I'm trying to feel empowered about the situation by letting people know, because I just want to fucking scream about it. We're being fucking ruled by pedophiles. But that's what Alex Jones does. Alex Jones does this, and they call him crazy because he does this. So I'm taking a different approach of trying to be as intelligent, as rational, and as passionate as I can be about it. And I'm trying to present it in a way where, look, people, it's not only crazy people who think about this shit. Thinking about this shit makes you go crazy. It's the opposite. It's learning about this shit makes you go insane. Because if you're looking at people and you're like, how can you turn a blind eye to this? How can you hear this is happening? And literally, it's like no reaction. It's like your life doesn't change at all. It's like you just go back to like just, oh, I'm just going to turn a blind eye, and I can't do it. And if you guys can, I'm not judging you. I mean, you guys are actually in here watching it. You guys talk about it. You guys are sharing the video. It's you guys are the ones that are doing this. I'm here to talk to you guys. We're having this conversation. But it needs to be everyone, you know? I mean, Maxwell is caught right now. You know what I found out yesterday, man? I wanted to freak out. Her fucking court date is July 12th, 2021. She's got to stay alive for 365 days? Come on, man. This bitch can't fucking die, dude. This bitch can't fucking die. I never thought a person who was responsible for so much victimization and hurt and just misuse of human beings that I would want to stay alive so bad. You got to tell people about this shit, man. You got to keep talking. You got to keep talking. You got to talk. Every one of us has to talk. We have to normalize the conversation, man. Normalize the conversation. Remember that. Normalize this conversation. All of this, everything that I talk about, even Trump. And I don't talk a lot about Trump because, again, I'm trying to paint this as a picture where, because this is a real thing. These are not only, these are not people of one political ideology. These are human beings. And everyone is, there are many different people responsible, even outside of our government. But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, it's true. Trump is not the bad guy. The same media that's lying to you and telling you that this isn't going on and is complicit in this, and they're complicit in hiding these fucking elite pedophiles' actions, they're the only ones that are telling you that Trump is bad. The real people out here like me are telling you that Trump is good. Because he's doing every single thing that he's doing is preventing these people from having control. He's preventing these people from doing these things. Trump is the person who, when you become the president, you have to appoint people to your administration. And part of your administration is the Department of Justice. And at the top of the Department of Justice is who runs law and order in the country. They're the people who decide who gets arrested and who doesn't. If in the head of the Department of Justice is the Attorney General. And if the Attorney General doesn't want you arrested, you don't get arrested. And William Barr is the guy who got Epstein put in jail after, when he was arrested under other administrations, he was given a slap on the wrist and he was let to go free. It wasn't until Trump's administration had him put behind bars and he died in jail. And I guarantee you, not at Trump's watch, and I guarantee you they won't make the same mistake again. But a year is a long time for her to survive in jail. She could always stop eating if she really wanted to kill herself that bad. That's all I'm saying. They gave her paper clothes. Look it up. I'll share it on Facebook. I'll share the article that I saw that said her thing comes from a year. 3 hours, Ralph. You're right. I'm going back to the comics. An entire year, bro. Yeah. Ralph just came in, and I think he thinks I'm talking about something that's politically objective. I just got done talking about politics for the first time throughout this entire episode, Ralph. We were just sitting there looking at real fucking emails of people offering up their small children to adult men to go into a hot tub and swim with adults, babies. Like, rewind the video a little bit an hour ago if you want to chime in on what really just happened. Because, again, I mean, I could change it. If you guys want me to stay on, I'll stay on. Are we having a good time? And let's talk about some topics here, okay? So let's go back, because I wasn't commenting. I got really passionate there, and I just kind of went off on a rant, man, because this shit is... I've known about this shit was going on for 17 years, man. I've been called a fucking conspiracy theorist and a fucking loon and a fucking crazy person for so many people for so many years, because I would just blurt it out. I'd get a new job, and I'd blurt it out. And I would just start talking about crazy shit. You know what I mean? And I would talk about people eating babies and shit. And fucking sometimes even reptilian aliens. And anything that people just thought is impossible. And I'm like, this isn't impossible. I'm not saying reptilian aliens are amongst the earth disguised as humans. But what I'm saying is, if you think it's impossible, it's not. It's only because we haven't discovered it yet. And it hasn't happened yet. Nothing is impossible. We have a scientist amongst us right now who will tell you that some things are impossible. He's going to agree with my opinion on this. He's going to say there are certainly some things, Brian, that are impossible. But I'm going to disagree with him on a fundamental level, and I'm going to say that's only because we haven't figured out how to do it yet. We're just not looking at it from the right angle. Because nothing is impossible. And if you're asking yourself about the elite of the world and you're saying to yourself, but that's impossible, They can't be eating children and molesting children and have a human trafficking ring, and they're all selling kids and fucking kids and $60,000 hot dog parties. Let's go back on the internet for 1 second. I don't give a fuck. We're going back on, bro. We're fucking doing it again. We're doing it again, bro. I don't give a fuck anymore. You guys in? You guys all in right now? We have more viewers than we've had the entire time. If you guys are still in, we're going ham on exposing fucking pedophiles right now. We got some people that I want to know the truth in the room talking to us. So we're going to interact, and we're going to fucking make this happen. Let's fucking get it, okay? Let's fucking get it. You want to see a fucking email? Okay. Search. Hot. What the fuck? Hot dogs. Hot dogs. Let's only look for hot dogs in the Podesta emails so I can find what I'm looking. You know what? I'm just going to use DuckDuckGo to do the search for me. Podesta email. Oh, I just did that. No, I did hot tub. Hot dog. Hot dogs will come up. Okay. Now, Snopes, of course. Did President Obama spend $65,000 on hot dogs? Let's see what Snopes has to say. Also, while going to the actual email in question. Okay. So there's no question as far as the validity. Now, again, like I mentioned earlier, we have new people. Oh, wow. Okay. This is the search. This is exactly what I was trying to do. To search Podesta emails for hot dogs. So let's see what Snopes has to say. How are they going to disprove this one, okay? A leaked email in 2009. Now, I want you to understand, a leaked email. So they're not even questioning the validity of the email, okay? They're not saying that this email is fake. Again, to stress what I'm saying earlier, everything on WikiLeaks is real. This is a real email. It's not fake. They're not even questioning it, okay? And I don't like Snopes. I don't approve of Snopes because Snopes is very misleading. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to read this one. A leaked email. False. Let's see, right? Okay. Make up your mind, conspiracy theorists. Is hot dog code for male prostitutes? Or simply, so again, they're not even talking about the email. Okay. The notion that President Obama purchased $65,000 worth of hot dogs in an email published by WikiLeaks. So it brought me right to the email. If this is the actual global intelligence files. Get ready for hot dog. Chicago Hot Dog Friday. Okay, 2009. It's from the email. Before we listen to what they tell us for. I think Obama spent about $65,000 of the taxpayers' money flying in pizza hot dogs from Chicago for a private party at the White House not long ago. Assume we are using the same channels? People, I want you to ask yourself a question. Which pizza and hot dog flying channels can you think of? Does anyone here even have one pizza and hot dog flying channel? Before we debate on the validity of whether or not pizza and hot dogs are code word for pedophile talk, okay? Which is immediately what the Snopes article went to. The very first thing it mentioned is immediately trying to discredit that hot dog is code for male prostitutes, okay? So let's get that right off the bat. But let's ask ourselves, first of all, who spends $65,000 on flying in hot dogs, okay? Barack Obama. Using the same channels. What are channels? I'm going to go over to the comments. We're going to see what you guys have to say about this. Let's get a little information. We had some people in here who wanted some dissenting opinions. Okay, I'm going to go do some comments first, though, because I got a little carried away as I'm getting to this. I'm with you, man. Best part, last five. Yvonne, I like it. So true. Okay, it's the best. Is the same way Cappy felt. Did you watch any of that? I did not watch any of those. I was up. I ate dinner. I watched Hannibal, and I went to bed. I recommend Hannibal. It came out in 2013, pre-Trump running for president, so it's actually somewhat entertaining. Oh my God, same thoughts. That was referencing me freaking out about how can you not do something about this. She ain't got a chance, bro. Can't believe you're still on the pedo topic. An entire year? Yeah, absolutely. Nope, 3 hours. Damn, we need some dissenting opinions in here. Ralph Bruno, nice. Ralph, you're the one I wanted to educate. Ryan Pitts, and they could force feed her like they do torture people and didn't stop them. Absolutely. Yup. We really had these types or evens forever. Check the 1 minute clip I put up earlier. Ray, I'm going to go do that exactly right now. Yvonne Hart, let's go. I'm shared. We're going to keep going. Hot tub time machine. Tabs much? Yeah, Kenny knows I like my tabs. He worked next to me for a while. I do like my tabs. That is a fact. I like that. All right. Put it on, man. I'm down. Let's do it. Sorry, gotta go. Kids are nearby. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I can understand that, Ralph. Watch it when you're by yourself. He's already gone. Why from Chicago? Who knows? Because you didn't know about those $65,000 Chicago hot dogs. Let's just ask yourself this, though. Let's ask yourself this. Hometown. Maybe. If that's true, Kenny, then that's correct. But let's ask yourself this question, okay? As we review this email. Again. $65,000, okay? Think about how much a package of hot dogs is at the store, okay? The best possible hot dogs you can get. All beef, Nathan's hot dogs, or whatever the top brand is. You're going to pay tops, $5 for like 10 hot dogs, averaging at about 50 cents a hot dog. Let's say we raise that up to $1 a hot dog, including bun and condiments, okay? We'll even go up further. If it, just to prove a point, it will make it at $2 per hot dog, okay? And on top of that, we'll cut it in half of the balance. So we'll take the amount of balance because it says pizza and hot dogs. So 65,000. So half of 65,000 is $32.50, okay? So $32,500 on hot dogs. You're going to get about 15,000 hot dogs, okay? And that's at $2 a hot dog at half of the budget. That's including being made and prepared, okay? 32, he's having a private party, okay? Now let's go to pizza and let's take that same half estimate, $32,500. How much pizza can you buy for $32,000? At roughly $10 a pizza, which is what a premium pizza, but if you're going to talk about a really premium pizza, you're going to say $20 for a party pizza. So let's even take that $20 and we'll make it $30, okay? So I'm terrible at math. Oh, shit. I'm terrible at math. I'm really not, but I really just want to do it online, okay? 32,500 divided by $30, okay? $30 for each pizza, okay? No, I did that wrong. Thank God I didn't do it. Ready? 1,083 pizzas for a private party, okay? So before we even have the conversation of whether or not pizza and hot dogs is code word for child sex victims, child sex trafficking victims, let's have the base conversation of what were they not talking about, okay? They were not talking about flying in pizza and hot dogs for $65,000 from Chicago, okay? This is, if you debate this, please speak up now or forever hold your peace, because they're really, if you honestly believe in your head that there's a strong possibility that they used, I'm getting rid of some of these tabs, Kenny. Okay, I'm keeping up. Getting rid of this. I don't even want to finish this thing. I don't even want to finish Snopes. We know they're full of shit. I'm not even going to entertain it right now. I could entertain it. I genuinely could. But you already saw they were addressing the email, but then all they were doing was, let's see. You know what? I disagree. I'm going to go back and I am going to entertain it. Fuck that. How dare I not follow through? I'm going to fucking follow through. Let's see how they address the email. I don't care about their slander. Okay, criticized serving items for McDonald's. Oh, wait. Okay, criticized. Yep, they're again, already to Trump. So the first thing, did Obama use code for hot dogs? Let's show a video that says false. Immediately pivot to Trump, talking about bringing in items from McDonald's, okay, other fast food chains, saying the controversy was overblown, but then $65,000 of hot dogs for a private party, okay? Using taxpayer funds. Okay? The notion that Obama purchased it is WikiLeaks. The email was not sent by President Obama or a member of his administration. It involved various employees and intelligence. So what they're saying is that because it wasn't sent from Obama, and it's just a single message claiming it, that it's not proof, it's speculation, or an attempt at humor at an exorbitant expenditure by the Obama administration. Okay, so it's basically they're saying that, again, they're saying that this is absolutely false because they're saying that it was an attempt at humor using food in this situation, specifically pizza and hot dogs. So now you're going to say, okay, well, let's see the validity of pizza and hot dogs in the Podesta emails. You know what? I got a better one. How about we look up walnut sauce? S-A-U-C-E, because I'm a terrible speller. Walnut saucing? Okay. This is to Mary Podesta and John Podesta directly from Mr. Faralik. Okay. Indeed, Mary, I am coming to town the week after next and will bring some walnuts. Okay. Mary Podesta. Walnut growing in Northern Carolina and celebrates walnut pasta sauce. Actually, what surprises me is we haven't already served it to you. It's an amazing dish made with crushed walnuts into a paste. So stop being California. All right, wait a minute. Hey, John, you're a true master of cuisine. But walnut sauce for the pasta? Wait a minute. Very tasty. You're a true master of cuisine. So I'm trying to figure out what was first. So it looks like this bottom part was the initial email. So this is how it started, okay? Wrote, hey, we know you're a true master of cuisine and we've appreciated that for years. But walnut sauce for the pasta? Mary, please tell us a straight story. Was the sauce actually very tasty? To the Podestas. Okay, ready? Walnut growing in Northern Carolina surely knows and celebrates walnut pasta sauce. Actually, what surprised me is we haven't already served it to you. It's an amazing Lingarian dish with crushed walnuts made into a paste. Stop being so Californian. Okay. Well, you know, maybe that's what they're actually talking about. So, you know what? With that email, I can discredit that and say that that's not the most valid. So, okay, so see, I found another. I don't think it discredits the weirdness, but I think in the instance of walnut sauce, it also countered with the other email that I saw, which is this one that says, do you prefer walnut sauce on pizza or pasta? So if they're actually referring to, and I could probably find that by going like this. Oh, shit. Probably find that by going like this. How to file code word. See, now here's where it's getting a little off the rails. Okay. So already, so this is making me question this. So see, you guys are seeing live research here. So this is, again, I know I've seen the other email. I didn't see that last one. Cheese is yummy. Where is the actual email in question? Pizza, walnut sauce, pizza, or pasta? And I can put that in quotes. This is the email that I did see. Am I missing the line, guys? Did you see it? Is it there and I'm just missing what I'm looking for? Okay, well, either way then. We're going to get off wall. Oh, you're seeing a black screen? I just got a message. Black screen, what's going on here? Uh-oh. That's bad. Okay. Well, we're going to reset the chain then. Well, that's not good. Window capture off. There we go. Don't know how long it was black, but walnut sauce, that seemed to be code. And again, all it is one reference that says it's crushed walnuts that you put on pasta. I don't know if anybody does that. But there are definitely, here's more of the, no, it's just another news article about it. I mean, we could look through these emails for days. I encourage you to do your own. I encourage you to look for the least creepy ones. I encourage you to look for the least creepy ones and do what we just did here and debunk it for yourself. You know? See if researching every single article that has the word pizza, which I have done. Podesta emails. And then we're going to do pizza related map. Okay. I haven't done this in so many years. I remember when this all happened in 2016 and doing all this and like learning all this. Okay. The realtor found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that seems to be pizza related. Is it yours? They can send it to you if you want. I know you're busy, so feel free not to respond if it's not yours or you don't want it. I just came from checking the field house and I have a square cloth handkerchief, black and white, that was left on the kitchen island. I've sent it via the mail if you should let me know where to send it. You left something at the field house. I meant to inquire yesterday about the pillows you purchased. Can I send them as well? Now, we've already learned through Wayfair. Here's the thing, man. We've already learned through Wayfair that people are talking in code words and sending people strange shit. And I don't know what the fuck a handkerchief that has a map that's pizza related is. If maybe there's a pizza restaurant that sells handkerchiefs with their logo branded on it. I mean, if you want to sit there and really sit there and... But let's be honest. What's actually happening here? How long has my screen been black? All right, at least we fixed it. So hopefully it wasn't that long. Hopefully Kenny's message got to me real quick and I was able to fix it as soon as it happened. But I just want to say, man, we got 8 people here. I appreciate everybody watching with me. I went a little bit longer than I wanted to because I kind of got excited. But I know, I'm actually glad I'm still here with you guys. As much as I want to watch wrestling, though, I might have to call this a wrap. But this was a much better experience, especially if Ryan Pitch just got here. I can't leave before we watch Ray's video. We have to watch Ray Vicalis' video, and we're doing it right now. Okay? We need to... shit. I'm going to redo this. So give me 1 second. I'm redoing my artificial... My artificial... We have to watch Ray Vicalis' video, and we're doing it right now. Okay. My comments cut off at a certain point. If somebody wants to go ahead and take the video link that Ray Vicalis shared and share it again, because I no longer have access to any comments before Ralph Bruno, that would be excellent. I would really appreciate it. Because as you can see, I just realized you can see my screen here. We got nothing above Ralph Bruno. I can't get to it. I'm trying my hardest. I can't get to it. I'm like telling you guys about what I'm doing like you can't see. Let's research something else. What do you guys want me to research? What do you want to look up here? You want to debunk Trump myths? Do you want to look up elite pedophiles? You want to look up Wayfair? Let's look up Wayfair. Everybody keeps talking about Wayfair. Let's actually do some live research. Here's, oh man. SRC. You guys, this might be dangerous. I'm a little nervous about hitting enter because if I hit enter on this and it's not good, safe search. Oh man. Okay. About the child trafficking conspiracy. This is trying to debunk it. If you type in the SKUR code, src.us, src space USA. Or, yeah. Well, Wayfair human trafficking claims. Here are the facts. How deep does the rabbit hole go? These are just people trying to tell you that you didn't see what you saw. Like, I heard people trying to debunk it a little. But in all reality, I want to go to images and see what images brings up. And it makes me nervous. Tom Hanks. We could link to that story. Fact check. Wayfair is not selling human trafficked people. Oh, I'm glad they already figured it out. I'm glad Lead Stories got to the bottom of it. Again, I got to really look into this. If you really want me to look into this right now, we can, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's a good idea because, quite frankly, if the wrong thing comes up and I'm on live stream here on Facebook, I'm probably going to get banned. So let's not do that. But let's look up something that we know isn't going to potentially get my account flagged. Let's look up. What is it? What's an amazing thing here? Let's look up Building 7. This is going to be the preview for tomorrow, and then I'll get out of here. Building, I don't know how to spell. Official teaser. World Trade Center 7. The hidden story of Building 7. World Trade Center 7.net. Was the third skyscraper to be reduced to rubble, according to the government files. Fires primarily leveled the building, but the fires like this have never destroyed a building since or before. That's what's important. This has never happened another time in history that buildings have free fallen for any other reason other than being destroyed. There's nothing else to know. Like, everything else is mental gymnastics and you're arguing semantics. It's never happened before or since by a building that wasn't demolished, that it's come straight down like this. There's never been fires or a plane crash or anything else where a building's just come down. Literally. I mean, everything else is everything else is your confirmation bias and your cognitive dissonance fighting the reality of the situation that you were lied to and that this was an inside job. You know what I mean? Everything else is a distraction from what I just told you, which is this has never happened before or since. Buildings do not. The reality of the situation is when you get all the semantics and all the bullshit aside, buildings don't fall to the ground on their own in a free fall. It doesn't happen. Not from fires, not from plane crashes. If those buildings are going to go down because of the plane crashes, they would have went down the moment the plane crashes hit them. Do you understand what I'm saying? If the fires were going to take them down, then any building, there would be some sort of a precedent set of a fire taking down a building. It doesn't exist. This is reality. And this third building was never even hit by a plane. This is real life. Team that investigated the collapse were kept away from the crime scene. By the time they published the inconclusive report, make us that the evidence had been destroyed. Why did the government rapidly recycle steel from the largest and most mysterious engineering failure in world history? And why has their media remained silent? Just keep asking questions, man. Is somebody going to provide me with EC fucking W? Hell yeah. He sees it. EC Dub. He knows what's up. So I see the black screen. It's because I minimized my browser. Oh shit. No, I didn't. My black screen again. They also wouldn't have price tags. Why is this black screen going on? Again? There we go. Jesus. You know, but like I said, just to go back, if World Trade Center 7 is what caused my camera to go out, there it is. You could see it. This is real life, people. This is real life. They also would not. All right, Ray's video. Thank you very much, Raymond, for sharing. I genuinely do appreciate it. So I'm going to watch this video. Oh, no. I don't want to save link. I want to watch the video. And I'm not even going to look at what it is. So if you're playing a prank on me, Ray, you're about to get me real good. I hope you start laughing. All right, so let me go to my program here. Turn this off.
If my man was wearing this, I would be all over him.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. You kidding me? Well, what I can do is this while I do this. And now I am going to proceed to sign in. Now that I am able to sign in private. Kind of sketched out. I'm doing this on a live stream, even though I can see what you guys are seeing and you can't see me signing in. But okay. Let's get back to where we were now that I'm signed in. And let's take a look at this lovely video that Raymond Vicalis has shared with us on this fine evening. Oh my good God. Hold on. Shit, sorry. Well, I know I was talking about wanting to see all of the evidence, but I'm pretty sure if all of these people are civilians, it is safe to assume that the gentlemen with the masks on and the weapons are at fault in this situation, regardless of what this woman is saying. Nothing that, no words are not an acceptable reason for physical violence. Words are not an acceptable reason to commit violence. So, yeah, that goes without saying. Jesus
Are you
Christ.
tired of the media spinning the truth and pushing false narratives? Well, take a look at this.
Here we go.
Over the last 3 years, while the establishment media was pushing false narratives and uncorroborated evidence, we investigated and shed light.
Closing that out. But yeah, so with that being said, wow, what a note to end on. That was a pretty fucked up video. Thank you, Ray, for sharing that with the group today. I do appreciate it. Man, I gotta eat dinner, man. I want to stay on here all night. I would love to do this because I love the fact that there are people watching and enjoying this and learning, and we're having a discussion. You know, I might have to go live at 8:05 if you guys like the late night and you guys want to do this late night. Maybe give myself time to eat dinner first. Live at 9:05 maybe. But as of right now, I'm liking live at 5. I appreciate everyone who shared the video today. I appreciate everyone who watched. I appreciate everyone who made a comment. Of course I have a YouTube account. It just wasn't signed in because it was through a fake browser through the streaming program that I never used. Ryan Pitts, they also wouldn't have crisis actors to tell fake stories. That is absolutely true. We can talk about crisis actors tomorrow when we talk about 9/11. 321 Rickrolled. Imagine that. If he had sent something crazy. I was a little surprised at what he sent, though. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting an educational thing, not a shocking thing. But you don't have a YouTube account. Yes, I do. All right, that's all my comments today, you guys. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this with me today. I got to go eat some dinner. I'm hungry as fuck. I drank all my soda almost. And I appreciate you being here. And you know what? Tomorrow we'll go live at 5 and we'll talk. We'll keep it open maybe, but we'll talk about 9/11 and we'll have some open discussion. Now that we can do videos, we can do a nice little watch along. So I really appreciate it. You guys, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Seriously, I had a blast today. Thank you for sharing the video. Thank you everyone for watching, and you have a good night.